Fam, are you watching the NBA playoffs? The play-ins? I know, right? And then I see the joke. Good thing Ronbo's a GB. Come on, man. Good thing Ronbo's not a Lakers or Dodgers fan. I already told you I like the Lakers and the Dodgers. They make the greatest hot dog in America in Dodger Stadium. The thing is, the Lakers are losing in the third quarter by 10 points. Okay. Let's go on. Fam, let's talk 49ers. Bring on the newbies. I'm telling you right now. Oh, a moment. I was going to say, well, a moment of silence for the Rams. I like to pick at them, But fam, the Niners haven't had the best luck in their first round choices during this first 6 years of Shanahan and Lynch regime. But with San Francisco fans, what we can applaud, though, is the 49ers success rate of the second day and beyond draft choices. They have been absolutely stellar. If they hadn't been, we wouldn't be looking at that 3 out of 4 years of getting through the playoffs and in the fashion that we did. Right? Tonight, we're going to the phones after strolling through the known Niners 2023 draft candidates visit the Santa Clara facility and some media suggestions from Lance Zierlein, which I found pretty interesting. And, hey, calling all DraftKings. Yeah, you guys are the ones, man. You guys are big show. Tony from Atlanta's Tony. And Tony Nagatani. Tony Nagatani, I had no idea his expertise in the draft was so in-depth. Also, Papa Dragon, you know who you are. Get in here and talk to us tonight. We're looking for you. By the way, have you checked out the media? Trey Lance must have a promotional team, right? We're getting these stages of videos from T. Lance. First of all, they've been impressive. His form has improved. He's tightened up that swing. And now he's got a video out now and dropping back in pass possession. Trey, you go ahead. What I like about Trey? His attitude, that warrior fire. People think I'm gonna just go down and lay down because they're bringing people in. Tell me I'm in here. I'm in it to win it. Trey, dude, listen. If you in it, you got my support. If you get in there, you kick ass because Trey's up against it. You know what I mean? When you have 1 year of college football, you come in the pros and you get like 5 minutes of training after 2 seasons, and they start bringing 2 people in, and then you got the last guy the draft picked up, came in and cleaned house. Now, what are you going to do? You're either going to panic and fold under the pressure, or you're going to get up and get out there and start working on it. All right, Trey, let's go get him. Yeah. Exactly. Well, we'll see. We'll see because camp starts this next week on 17th. Yes, indeed. Fam, time it's to seriously turn attention to the quickly approaching 2023 NFL draft. We got a few more days to go. The 49ers address some of their positional needs. 5 free agents, as you're supposed to do. Signing or trading for 9 players outside the organization and retaining another 9 from the 2022 NFC Championship game roster. But there's still more work to do this offseason with some notable departures that included Mike McGlinchey. I know you're saying Ronbo. I don't know why you call him notable, but he is one of the guys that left. He's been with us for a while. Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy Ward, Azeez Al-Shar, which really does sting. I'm concerned about that one. Hassan Ridgeway, Samson Ebukam, and Emmanuel Mosley, which is really killing me as well. Charles Omenihu, we had some guys I like them, man. Charles O was one of my dudes, man. Daniel Brunskill, come on, man. Who does not like Daniel Brunskill? I mean, we made jokes and memes about it, but the boy was steady, and you knew what you were going to get from Brunskill, and normally it wasn't going to be anything bad. He was going to hold his own. Maurice Hurst. Maurice, take your calves and all those other things that linger on and on the IR. Goodbye and good riddance. I usually don't talk about this, but Maurice Hurst came over here and got paid money that you and I wish we could make for sitting around. Oh, my. I got it on ice. You going to train tomorrow? Nah, I think I'm going to rest it up. See, that's just born under a lucky star. Jordan Willis. Jordan Willis was like that player that even if he played a couple of snaps or 2 or 3 or 4, there was going to be at least one thing he does that'd be on a highlight reel. Dude was awesome. Gone. Other teams noticed it. And this is the thing. When you got players that come out there and do things like that to make impact, they're getting attention. Scouts, everybody else is taking notes, especially GMs. The core of the 49ers roster, however, remained intact, according to GM John Lynch. Depth is the biggest priority heading into the draft. So we know what the objective is, so know what to expect this coming draft. The 49ers are going to go in looking for players that not necessarily going to be a starter, but you know what happens with that, don't you? Yeah, who knew that Mr. Relevant was starter material? Who knew that Dre Greenlaw was starter material? Demo, what happened there? You know, you draft like that, but you still could pick up something you know nothing really about other than the fact that we're going to take a look at him. So while John Lynch is saying he's looking for to beef up things, as it stands, the Niners have a total of 11 picks to work with beginning in their third round with selection number 99. I've got no concerns of all of that because you know what? In fact, I've been joking when I've said this each and every year. Niners, get rid of the first round and the second round. Trade it down, man. I want you guys to finish off the draft starting with the fourth round and down, okay? That's what you do because you guys struggle with the first round. The current brass, though, has had plenty of success, as I say, picking those later rounds. For the most recent example, the final pick of the 2022 NFL draft, that's going to be legendary. Had he gotten to the Super Bowl, you know, that would have been put in the Guinness book. That would have went on and on and on. And chances are, when you got a Cinderella quarterback on the 49ers weren't a Cinderella team. They were supposed to do what they did because of that, the assembly of talent we had. That was it. I tell you, I'll never stop thinking, you know, I know that was the Super Bowl team. Anyway, Brock went on to start 8 games with the red and gold, leading the team straight to the conference championship and breaking franchise and league records all along the way. Are you kidding me? Who's seen that coming? Now, a lot of people who did. Now, I watched Brock Purdy at Iowa. I knew he was good, and I thought we were fortunate that we picked him up at the point that we did. Come on, man. Come on. What were the odds before what happened with all that happened to happen? What were the odds? You know what? There's not is there a meter or calculation you can use that will actually give you those odds without putting 1 or 2 or 3 in O's across whatever you're reading? Lynch said at the scouting combine in Indianapolis, the draft sets up well with the way we are positioned this year. To me, the blue chip players, there aren't as many this year, but there is good depth. I think there's good value, and we seem to do well at pick 100 and back. We're in our sweet spot. You got it, John. And we've got to make them count. So where exactly the Niners, unquote, where exactly the 49ers need to add depth, man? Went back and forth on this. It's arguable because a lot of us would just as soon they use all 11 picks on offensive linemen because we were saying that last year. We'll be saying it next year. And it's because of our concern for the quarterbacks. We have I want to know another team in the NFL that's had many quarterbacks go get knocked completely out year after year as much as the 49ers have. I mean, they just aren't. There's no comparison. We are the Kings. And if I was a quarterback, Sam Darnold bravely came on over here. Yeah, I'll play. You know, if I was a quarterback, one of the 49ers brass called me on the phone. Yeah, hey. Blah, 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 49ers. Yeah? Yeah, what's up? You want to play for the 49ers? As what? You're a quarterback. You know what? I'm going to pass. But thanks, though. You know, because come on, man. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to be killed. My career ended, possibly? No, I'm not going. So that's why we complain about the offensive lineman. We want more help for that quarterback out there. We want it to be strong, and we want to be confident as we sit back watching the game. That all of a sudden, and I saw. Did you see that? I saw Trent the other day, Trey, in a video, showing Trey coming back to throw the ball. Again, here comes another guy. It's not the same. This is 2 different clips. You already saw what happened to Brock. And then I saw it happen to Trey. Trey came back. He got that ball off a fraction of a second just before the guy still hit his hand. The ball wobbled out somewhere. But I said, wow, that is eerie. That's exactly the same play that Brock got wiped out on. Niners, we've got to do something about that guy sneaking around there, busting the quarterback's arm. So, this is why we do what we do. And I'm not opposed to people complaining about that. Give me a damn offensive line. But realistically, fam, tackle, cornerback, edge rusher, tight end, safety, right tackle. If the season were to start today, Lynch pointed to fourth-year pro Colton McKivitz as a projected starter at right tackle during the NFL Annual League meeting. In his 3 seasons with the team, the swing offensive lineman, known as McKivitz, her baby boy, has made 28 appearances, 5 starts, and has played in 5 playoff games. McKivitz only start of 2022 was in place of all-pro left tackle Trent Williams in Week 4 against the Los Angeles Rams. But then again, I have to ask you, how much of a test is that? I have to get those in, but I can't. Behind him, the Niners have all newly signed John Feliciano, and I like that. John's played at virtually every position on the offensive line and sounding like a perfect replacement for the very versatile Daniel Brunskill. I'm excited about that. From what everybody, and I didn't know anything about him, but from what people are saying is, this guy's liable to start. We'll see what happens in camp. Also, Matt Pryor and Jalen Moore with the physical play in the trenches insulating the O-line. It's a must. It's a no-brainer. You got to do it. Get us all you can out there to see if they can be more than depth. See if one can out there and go out there and really perform and start. Offensive tackle is ranked as the 8th strongest position group of the incoming 2023 draft. A class, according to NFL draft analyst Lance Zierlein in his prospect breakdown for NFL.com. As I was checking that out, Zierlein can be quoted saying, I see Peter Skoronski as this year's #1 offensive tackle prospect. When you read that, it just it breaks my heart because I know there's no chance we're going to get him, although his best position could ultimately be guard. When weighed against the last several drafts, most of the top tackles in this draft would fall into day 2. See, fam, I don't know about you, but we've talked about this in lots of conversations on the phone, and then we had that conversation in the mock draft this past weekend. Fam, do you think the 49ers are interested in keeping all 11 picks just to pick 11 players? They could find themselves in that second round. They could. I don't know where, but they could. You don't need 11 picks. Why bring in 11 kicks and break their heart by cutting them? Bunch them up and give them to a team that's needy. When weighed against the last several drafts, most of the top tackles in this draft would fall in day 2, rounds 2 to 3 territory, in my opinion, according to Lance Zierlein. The cornerback position. Veteran Charvarius, by the way, fam, Charvarius Ward's baby's getting ready to have a heart procedure. Go on Twitter, let him know you're giving him your support. I retweeted him. Go to his page and tell him you're there for him, and send up those prayers he's asking for. His baby's got to pull through this. It may be taking place it may have taken place a couple hours ago or something. So we'll hear more about that later. But it did happen today. But Charvarius and third-year pro Diamador. I know what you're thinking, and you're right. Listen, let me tell you one thing about this number 38. None of these players own this number, okay? Whoever wears it is a 49er, and I took the back off already. Listen, I'm not throwing away any more jerseys. I've got enough jerseys to make a quilt, and most of them are gone. So I'm keeping them. Because other players are going to come along and they're going to take these numbers. Believe it or not, I still got Reuben Foster's jersey. I can't wait for the 49ers to put somebody at 56. That was my favorite jersey, man. Come on. I have no shame. I'll tell you the heartbeat just because you're guessing. Ron, what's those sleeves, man? It looks like a jersey from way back. It is. Okay. Anyway, Devo closed out the 2022 season as the #1 and 2 cornerbacks with Jimmy Ward, according to Charvarius Ward, taking over the nickelback position after Emmanuel Mosley's season-ending injury and the emergence of Tashawn Gibson Sr. as a starting safety alongside Talanoa Hufanga. Oh! You know what? I can't wait for Hufanga to get together with our new coach, our new head coach. I got to get Steve Wilkes, got to get him straight on some couple of things. So Steve Wilkes, this is what he does. This is his expertise. Get him a Talanoa. And the new guys coming in. I feel good about this group. And by the way, fam, the free agent signings of Isaiah Oliver and Miles Hartford offer the 49ers some additional options to take over the role formerly occupied by J-Dub. And the team also has Samuel Womack III. I'm looking for good things from him this year. I thought he had a lot of dog in him last year. Remember, he almost started. The 49ers wanted to use him. He's just got all kind of animal in him. I love it. Ambry Thomas. Ambry Thomas has got to come back to form. His potential is crazy. He's got to get back out there and be Ambry Thomas. I don't know who that was last year, some imposter. I wanted tweet him. Who are you, and what did you do with Ambry Thomas? Man, but you cannot ignore the strong talent pool of the cornerbacks in 2023. This could be a position of interest in the draft for the Niners. NFL.com has the cornerback position ranked at number 1 for depth in the incoming draft class. That means there's going to be plenty in the 3rd round. Oh, man. And, as Tony was saying, you make it impossible for the quarterback to find somebody to throw to. And with that defensive front line that we got going, it's going to look like wolves tearing meat apart. I mean, between Hargrave and Nick, just tearing carcasses apart. Oh, God. Which one's going to be the alpha dog at the end of the season? That's what I want to know. When you got 2 A dogs, man, somebody playing quarterback coming in to play the 49ers, make sure your insurance premiums are paid up. Boy, if your offensive line ain't made out of granite, you got a problem coming up. Oh, I love it. Sirline continued by saying this. We saw 12 quarterbacks go in the first round, 3 rounds last season, including Defensive Rookie of the Year. Sauce Gardner. I wanted him so bad just so I could say, every time we beat somebody, or every time he got somebody, he just got sauced. There might not be a sauce in this year's class, but there appears to be a higher number of players who will be starters in the NFL. In fact, there will be big, long, explosive perimeter cornerbacks available in each of the first 4 rounds. He goes on to say, I expect Christian Gonzalez and Devon Witherspoon. Devon, I was watching this tape, to be the first 2 players drafted in the position, but we should see 5, maybe even 6, taken in the first round undrafted. We're going to get one. And we're going to get that one that analysts and other people don't know about and turn him into a star. You see, because we got Wilkes. And Wilkes is looking at the tape as hard as Kyle Shanahan is, as to who and who's who and whoever the scouts send back. And we're going to pick up that kid. His name may not be on any list. But when he comes in, we say, damn, how did he get missed? Wow, good find, Niners. How many times you said, wow, good pickup, Niners? Damn. The scouting department, whatever they're getting paid, give them a raise. Edge rush. The Niners D-line was one of the position groups most affected by free agency departures for the good guys. But good Lord, recall the story. I mean, remember John went in and he talked to Jed like he always does, like you and I would when we were kids asking our dad for extra money or mom. We go in and he came in and told Jed, listen, we got a move we want to make. Now, with your approval, we're going to go out and get one of the best tackles in the NFL. If that's okay with you, we're going to go right ahead with it right now. And Jed just says, listen, I have no problem with that. Just don't bring me back an average player. Look up the word average, and you will not see Hargrave's name next to it. That premiere edition with the signing of Javon, which was a big win for the interior of the D-line, has a win written all over it. Other additions made to offset free agency exits and bolster the edge. Former Raiders first-round pick Cleveland Farrell and former Lions defensive lineman Austin Bryant. Lynch also noted the combine that the team is hoping to see a big jump in year 2 for former second draft pick Drake Jackson. Drake's going to be fine. I have a real good feeling about him. Drake Jackson, that would result in more playing time for him. But that will materialize as off-season programming gets underway. Drake, are you ready? Don't come in and wimp out on me, man. I can't believe you got tired. Come on. The Niners looking for a 7 jump from Javon Kinlaw, who continued to deal with some lingering knee issues in 2022 following an off-season surgery, given the way the Niners like to rotate. Remember Robert Saleh? All gas. There's no brakes. The defensive lineman, adding more depth is what they never stop doing, and the position group is ranked 3rd overall in strength. Number 3 in the strength. Defensive lineman, that's what kids are, that's what they're growing up to play nowadays. Defensive lineman. I wish they started playing offensive lineman. Strolling says, quote, if your team was looking for an edge defender, you should hope it addresses the position within the first 75 picks. That's not us, because the depth will start to diminish after that point in the draft. Will Anderson Jr. and Tyree Wilson have high-end potential, and there's a nice collection of future starters with size and or explosiveness in the first 2 rounds. See what I'm talking about? Move up to that 2nd round. I don't know if the 49ers see anybody that makes them that crazy that they would go after an edge rusher, a safety. Safety seems more urgent to me, though, due to the fact that we don't know how Tyshawn is going to last. Some of the most intriguing prospects include Tui Puloto. Tui Puloto. I got Polynesian training on this. Let me get Tui Puloto. Did I get that right? Yeah. Phoenix Anudaki Uzoma. That's one of them boys from the motherland. Do I say the motherland? I'm talking about Africa. Them dudes, man. I look at some of those guys. I see them, and I'm wondering, where did you learn? Because they went to college and everything in America, but I said, Jesus Christ, that's just him. And he got some skills, but still. Oh, also an Isaiah Foskey, who should go in the 2nd round. Keon White has the versatility to play inside or outside. You'll see him in the pick. And I like him for that reason. I want versatility. I want a guy I can put outside and inside. And we're going to find out what he does best, right, if they do pick him out. Lynch is classifying him as an edge offender, which strengthens this position group. Unquote. Tight end Ross Dwelly is now official in 2023. Fam, how long have we been saying, get George Kittle a comparable running mate out there? Kyle, get back to those 2 tight end sets that you ran in Atlanta that ran other teams nuts. The state of the tight end room looks very similar to what it is for the past 3 seasons. Dwelly, Warner, Kittle, all in a contract for the upcoming season. That group, what has for room for another if the Niners want to keep the same amount of tight ends they had on the 53-man roster in 2022 that kicked ass, except for Charlie Crofton. He's gone. What was Crofton's name? Was it? Gillis Emerges is one of the greatest after spending 6 years in the league, and he's coming off a season in which he earned 2nd-team All-Pro honors and scored 11 TDs for the Red and Gold. The Niners have an opportunity to grab another potentially great tight end via the draft this year, given the depth of the position group. NFL.com has ranked the tight end group as the strongest group behind the quarterbacks in this year's upcoming draft. Oh, my Lord. Let's go shopping, fam. Oh, Zerline said this about the group, quote, this is one of the most promising tight end classes I've seen in a while. Michael Mayer, Luke Musgrave, Dalton Kincaid, Darnell Washington are the most well-known prospects, and each is worthy of going inside the first 40 picks. Woo. Hey. But there should be starting caliber players selected a little later on, including Luke Schoonmaker. I've looked at him. That's the guy, fam. Tucker Kraft, Sam Laporta, Brenton Strange. Unquote. Safety real quick before we go to the phones. Starting duo Hufanga Gibson Sr. is back again for another season. Those 2 likely won't have to compete for their jobs. But again, Lynch is looking for depth at that position, right? Shh. Don't listen to John. He's so full of poo-poo. Gibson Sr., the team leader in interception for 2022, contemplated retirement this season, as you know, and bringing in young talent has to be priority in the war room in order to not turn into the Rams and ensure year-to-year success at this position. We're going for it. We don't have no picks. Use them. Get something. Build it. Make it better. Win. The Niners signed Hartsfield to address some of the depth in question and have George Odom still under contract as well. The departure of Ward and Moore could further push the team to shop around for a safety in the upcoming draft. Hopefully, and you know they will. Oh, they will. I mean, that's almost a guarantee. Unfortunately, though, at NFL.com, it's being said that the safety positions isn't deep this year, and ranking only 10th overall. Zerline said this about the situation. Last year, we saw 3 safeties drafted in the first round. This year, Brian Branch is the only safety I expect to go in round 1, and some teams will have him slotted as a nickel corner. Day 2 will offer up a few future starters with Dante Johnson and Jordan Battle leading the way, and Jartavius Martin impressing as the NFL combine at the NFL scouting combine. Javier Brown might fall to day 3 after not showing ideal speed. Remember, we got another guy without ideal speed and explosiveness at the combine, but is a good football player. Memphis Quindell Johnson is my day 3 sleeper with this group, and I'm looking at him too because a lot of times those are the guys that the 49ers can see something in, and they'll know how to cultivate that guy to make him into the star that he could be. Fam, as far as visits to Santa Clara, so far the Niners have shown interest in defensive end. Yaya Diaby. Oh, I love that name. Get it, 49ers. If for no other reason by his name, Louisville. SEC. Safety Jordan Howden, Minnesota. Cameron Latu, Alabama. Antonio Maffi, offensive lineman, UCLA. Linebacker. That's where I saw that name, Tony Nagatani. Marte Mapu, Sacramento State. Tony picked him up. Defensive end, Tavares Robinson, Ole Miss. Cornerback, Terrell Smith, Minnesota. Virtual interviews for the 49ers, Catrell Clark, Louisville. Safety, Brandon Hill, Pittsburgh. Tight end, Zach Kuntz, Old Dominion. Cornerback, Darrell Luter Jr., South Alabama. Offensive lineman, is that Lip Manning? Why? That's an interesting. He's from Hawaii. Private or semi-private workouts. Kickers, the 49ers went through all kinds of lookings at kickers. Anders Carlson, Jake Moody, Chad Ryland. Other meetings included defensive tackle Keondre Coburn, Texas. Fam, it's game on. Looking for the DraftKings. Talk to me about some of these guys, and who do you think is going to come in and be pretty much, it pretty much is going to come to us and make things happen. Hey, Phil, get in here.
Ronbo.
Chill, Phil. Phil, it's looking like it's beginning to look a lot like draft night. Phil, what are you thinking?
Hey, you know what? I just think I have trust in the Niners scouting group. I really do.
You and me both.
Yeah, we missed on a few first. It was like the first year of Shanahan and Lynch, Solomon Thomas. But Solomon Thomas really wasn't a bust.
He's a good player.
He played a lot of games. He just was put in the wrong position.
And he was played out of position.
That's one thing that
now that you mention it.
Done. You know, and then you go Nick Bosa. Was that a bust? No.
Not even close. But everybody knew that.
So they hit on a few high-round picks. Trey Lance is still yet to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know.
But Javon Kinlaw and Reuben Foster have still got people scratching their head. But, you know, the first round is a real tough round.
Well, I think the Niners have changed since Reuben Foster. They've really scouted guys that were on the top of their
their social game as well. Yeah, don't be an idiot, okay? That's whoa. So
they go for guys that are top in their school, good grades, good. They've done that due diligence since Reuben Foster. So they haven't made that mistake since then. So
true. They had to learn. That was their first year. They had some lumps to go through.
Sure. Absolutely. Everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the Niners, they got 11 picks. They're probably going to go for an offensive tackle. They're probably going to go for an edge rusher. Tight end, safety. Like you said, almost everything you said was right on. Corner and a kicker, probably. They're going to probably draft a kicker in the 7th round. and let him compete with this guy that we got from Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows?
Yeah, because Philly never got this many
there's
kickers
still
before.
Guys out there in free agency, don't count that out either. I mean, Yannick Ngakoue is still out there. Robbie Gould is still out there.
Robbie, come on in, Rob. Take the money.
Yeah. You want to take the veteran minimum? Yeah, come on in. So I think, there's still some options out there in free agency as well. So we're in the driver's seat. I mean, with the roster we have right now, we're winning the division.
Mm-hmm.
Forget it, Rams. Forget it, Seattle. Forget it, Arizona.
Oh, they were in the conversation
You're just
anyway.
not good enough.
That's the good thing about building a roster like this, Phil. This is what they mean by sustainability. We can take our time and pick out players this year without sweating, oh, God, I hope he works out. No, we don't have to do that.
No, we picked the best player. And then next year we've got 13 picks. We had a first. We got all our seven round picks because McCaffrey's paid off, and so is Trey.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got 3 more third round picks through comps, 5th, 6th, 7th, because of Ebicom, Menahue, and all those guys. So we're going to be. I think we're going to trade some of our picks from next year
I would
to this year to
bet
move up.
big.
I really do.
Oh, I forgot about that option. You don't need 13 picks. Oh, Phil, that's absolutely right.
And you've got a first, a second, and 4 thirds. So what are you going to do with all those picks?
Phil.
You can't afford them anyway.
You can't keep them all anyway. You don't cut all those kids. That's wrong. Phil, do you know the 49ers potentially could end up in the first round if they wanted to?
Probably.
If they wanted to. Now, I don't think they do, but I'm just saying they could. You got too much stuff.
Second round, probably. I think next year they're going to trade up because, they're picking 28th, 29th, 30th, 32nd every year.
So it's actually the next round, whatever
they're
they are.
making the NFC Championship game this next year. I think they think they're going to. So they're going to be picking 28th, 29th, 30th, 32nd. So,
True.
And they have done that the last 3 out of 4 years. So, but to move up, I think we'll see what Trey Lance does. I don't think they're trading Trey Lance this year. Not a chance.
No, and it's not practical. If for no other reason, you don't trade somebody that's going to cost you money to trade. You're still going to be owing some money. Why would you do that? And you need
$11
quarterbacks.
million on the cap.
Yes.
If they trade him.
And you need him.
$9 million if they don't.
You need him to compete and learn and be part of that room. What are we going to do? 2 quarterbacks? What are we going to do then?
Plays well in the stints he plays. Then you've got value. Because you still own him for another year.
Mm-hmm.
Contractually.
Yep. And if he works out, everything's great. He starts. Darnold's got a 1-year contract.
You
we look for another.
To package him with that first-round pick and move up to the top 10 pick and get yourself a left tackle to replace Trent.
There's the strategy already. Wow.
So I think we're in the driver's seat. I mean, the Niners are in good position.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those guys that we got, like the guy from the Raiders at defensive line, Chris Kaserik can coach him up.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's going to be probably sought after a year with the Niners.
Look what happened to the last guy that came from the Raiders. Although he's out on the road again, but still.
Well, look at what's his name that went from the Niners to the Seattle, then back to the Niners.
And he's a veteran.
And, the Seattle paid him top dollar, and
$10 million.
He didn't do nearly as well with Seattle as he did with the Niners.
So we're
Anyway.
Arden Key.
But
Now
I do
Arden Key
think
did well last
tight
year,
end to go.
being resurrected, but he's back on the road again now.
It's a good tight end. It's a good cornerback class. I think we go with the tight end to try to get someone to go alongside with
George Kittle.
To play tight end.
Mm-hmm.
They can block and receive.
Yes, indeed. And it seems like it's an impossible combination. George has got a standard set for tight ends coming in that's really going to be tough to follow. But we got to find him. Phil, I'll tell you what, we're going to go, and let me see you Friday.
All right,
and see what develops next. All right? Always a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you later.
Looking forward to it. Night, Phil.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. There he is. Mrs. Dog's baby boy, Jay. Jay, dog. Get in here, man.
Hey, Ronbo, man, it's a pleasure to be on with you. Shout out to Ronbo Sports. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the faithful. Boston in the mother effing house. And you know me, J-Dog from Boston, the president of the I Hate Kyle Shanahan fan club. And shout out to the last caller, Phil, because he told it like it is. Now I got to follow him, tell it like it is, and I'm going to tell you how it is. Ronbo, just clear the air. Let me have the floor. I want to know what you got to say.
You got it.
Let's speak facts. The front office of the San Francisco 49ers has given Kyle Shanahan everything he can ask for. You gave him a top 3 running back. You drafted Deebo Samuel. You drafted a capable wide receiver in Ayuk. You went out and got the best left tackle in the game. You drafted Nick Bosa. You drafted Fred Warner in the 3rd, 4th round, whatever that was. And then you got all the other pieces. What more can you ask for from this guy? Kyle Shanahan, you are the only man holding us back from the 6th ring. And I know it. I need the Kyle Shanahan supporters to get online, speak the facts. If there was any other coach didn't have this gloss, didn't have this honey dip, this glaze on him, you'd be wanting him out the door. But why is it? Because it's Kyle Shanahan. What has he ever done? The only thing you can say is he hung his coattail onto Matt Ryan and Julio Jones in their prime. And you know how that went with the Super Bowl with New England and the comeback, and he didn't want to run the ball. And then he does it to us in the late closing game. He doesn't want to run the ball. He blows timeouts. He doesn't look at the clock. It's Kyle Shanahan. You won't take care of this right side. You want to go into this season. What you want to do, Kyle Shanahan? What do you want to do? You want to go into this season with who the hell is that right tackle this year? You want to go into a season with a quarterback that's not improving? What are you doing to us? We're ready to go. Kyle Shanahan, wake your ass up, man. I'm sick and tired of this. All right? I'm sick and tired of this. This right side has been atrocious for your whole tenure. Address it. You're going to put Trey Lance back there? You're going to put Brock Purdy back there to get hurt again? I'm sick of this. Kyle Shanahan, this front office has been the blueprint of the NFL. We're pushing contracts back. We're signing key free agents, key guys. I love what we did in the front office. I love what we did with the signing. Hargroves, the homeboy from the Falcons. You gotta love what we did over the years, over this whole tenure. You gotta love what we've done in the draft. You gotta love what we've done in the signing. Now, I challenge anyone, any of these Kyle Shanahan supporters that got their Stevie Wonder glasses on. Can you honestly say that the front office has not given this man everything you can ask for? I mean, it's ridiculous that nobody really, that the pressure's really not on him. It's kind of like when the Cowboys had a boat and they had Barry Switzer. It's the same thing. It's like Kyle Shanahan, you got all this. You got probably the most talented roster in the NFL, and it's been that way. When are we ever gonna call him to? I tell you what, man. I said it before. I don't give a damn if you had Chip Kelly this offense. He probably could put us over the top. And it's that simple. We can't win because Kyle Shanahan wants to win the Kyle Shanahan way. It's not about winning. We got to win his way. I feel sorry for Trey Lance because Trey Lance can't even go off script because this dude's his butt cheeks are stapled together, man. This is ridiculous. J-Dog from Boston in the house, the number one, Kyle Shanahan. You make me sick, man. I'm gonna just tell it like it is, man. I'm sick of it, man. You know what I mean? And we go to the draft, this and that. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but I gotta say it, man. Kyle Shanahan needs to be on the hot seat. Ronbo, let me know what you think, brother. It's ridiculous.
J-Dog, do you know that there was not one thing that you said that could be argued? See, that's the thing.
I know it.
And a lot of us are in denial about some of those facts. And it is glossed over by a lot of people. Kyle Shanahan, he still carries the...
It's his name. It's his name. It's his name. It's Shanahan. It's the way the NFL, when he was up for, coach, it's kind of like Josh McDaniels. The name, it's glossy, it's fluffy, it's there and all that. But, you got guys like a guy from Philly, Soriano from Philadelphia. You got guys that are doing a hell of a job with the talent that they do have, with talented rosters, okay? And, Kyle Shanahan, man, the thing about Kyle Shanahan is this, Rondo. He's running the 49ers. He's really running the 49ers. So in another organization, you'd have the general manager that's calling the shots. Kyle Shanahan is telling John Lynch what he wants. Why are you not addressing that right side? That has been a nuisance to us. The protection, it's obvious. Everyone knows it. What are you doing? And then people want to talk about Trey Lance being traded and this and that. Now, if you trade Trey Lance after what you've been doing, after the way everything has been constructed, you have to say, what are you doing? It's absolutely ridiculous. I really need the faithful to really look at it objectively. Don't go by what I say. Look at things objectively, okay? We probably got the most talented roster in the NFL. Kyle Shanahan, they put the gloss on you. They painted you up. They made you look real nice. They made you look like the second coming of Bill Walsh. But you can't tell me nothing. I'm a 49ers fan. I've been a 49ers fan for over 35 years, brother. And guess what? I've seen the apex of offense. You can't show me nothing. I didn't grow up with Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Roger Craig. There's nothing that you ever gonna put out that can show me the epitome of offense. I've seen it. So get out of your head. Get out of your ass. You know what I mean? Just play, coach these guys. Get these guys to do what they need to do, and get out of your own way, man. Let Trey be Trey. Let Brock be Brock. Let anybody be anybody at the quarterback position. And it's a problem, and Shanahan is the problem, and that's what it is. That's it. And I don't mean to go too long, Ronbo.
No, it's okay. I got to tell you, though, I got a feeling that Jimmy G opened a can of worms that got him thrown out. But the thing is, Jimmy G made that a point after that second, third week. Jimmy G went public and says, yeah, well, that was a play that blah, blah, blah. There should be more of that around here. G, what did you just say? Was that mutiny on the bounty? Jimmy G, what we're going to find out about Jimmy G had skills. One of the quickest releases in the game, could read and release quickly. Now, Kyle still had what he wanted you to do, like you say. Watch G go over with Raiders and do a number. I could see that talent in him the whole time, but I knew there was a leash. He can't put a leash on quarterbacks if he expects them to grow. Of this I fully support that. That is true. Let those guys be themselves. That's the only reason why you draft them in the first place, because you saw something in them. You got to let them be themselves to at least a degree. And then if you want to do this, this, and this, okay. But make it comfortable for them like Andy Reid does for Mahomes. Let them play let them do their thing. Let them do it.
Yeah. And Ronbo, you hit it. You hit it right on the head, man. Let these guys like grow into what they're gonna be, and just nurture them. Just be there for them. You know what I mean? Because if you watch teams that really kill us in the postseason, because we're always gonna go down the stretch. Like it's always about like guys who are able to go off script and create plays, kill us with their legs. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And guys who like Andy Reid is like the perfect example, because you know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes, when he started off, you know what I mean? Yeah, he had the intangibles. He had the big arm and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And what did he do? You know what I mean? He didn't play him right away. He played Alex Smith. Alex Smith was good. Then when Patrick Mahomes got his chance, he let Patrick Mahomes be Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's what you got to do.
And all he did was fine-tune the little things and whatever like that and put pieces around him.
Guide him.
And that's what you do.
Don't harness him. Yes, guide him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Kyle's going to learn. He's going to have to learn, because Brock Purdy didn't listen to him. That's why he did what he did last year. Brock was off script all game long, and it worked.
Yeah. He did do a good job of that. He's just a rookie, and probably another year with Brock.
He'll get better as he matures, because, like I say, he was just out there playing ball. Brock didn't know what he was doing half the time. Man, J-Dog, always an awesome pleasure to talk to you, fam. Gang, come on back as soon as you can.
Yeah, I do, man. I appreciate it, man. I just want to give a shout out to you guys, Ronbo Sports. I want to give a shout out to you,
Thanks,
Ronbo, the faithful. I love all y'all. I love all you guys, man. Thanks you for what you do. Because it's just football. It's not personal. It's just football. You give us the platform, man.
I get emotional about it. I love it when you do that.
We love you in Boston. Boston in the house. Ronbo Sports in the house. 49ers in the house. Peace, bro.
Let me send all that love back to Boston and you. All right, fam. Have a great night, J-Dog.
Yes, sir. You too, brother. All right, man.
Thanks, fam. Well, it's a big show.
Amen, J-Dog. Amen.
Yeah, I know. Really, when you're on point, I tell you.
I mean, that's a hard act. That's a hard act to follow.
He never comes in with anything weak. I love it.
Very, very accurate and very on point on what he said. But that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight, Ronbo. And shout out to the number one Brunskill fan. What's his name?
Casey,
there you go. That's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. The positions of the draft this year that I'm most excited about and that have the most depth, I think, I disagree with NFL.com. It's not corner. It's offensive line and running backs. There's this offensive center / guard that is completely under the radar, and look out for him in the 5th round, early 5th round. Yeah. He's from Troy University, and the 49ers have met with him 3 times. They've had an informal meeting, they've had a formal meeting, and they've had an in-depth formal meeting with this guy, Ronbo. He's 6'3", 305 pounds. He plays center, he plays guard, he's versatile. He's athletic, and he's extremely intelligent when you listen to him speak, Ronbo.
So wait, before you go any further, what's his name? I want to make note of this.
Jake Andrews.
Jake Andrews. Remember, fam, as I told you, I've been apologizing on the show for years about our Fred Warner, one of the best linebackers in the game. I didn't know who he was. As the show says, there's Fred Warner's available. Who? I'm Jake Andrews.
Everyone was fighting over Tremaine Edmonds and the dude from Boston College. What's his name?
The Chicago Bears guy, right?
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, if they met with him that many times, they must really love him. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually moved up and tried to get him.
Right.
You know,
Because
an in-depth formal meeting. How many players have you heard of that happening this year?
oh, that's true. When they do that, just about every time they went and got the guy. Yeah, you're right.
And believe it or not, receiver is another strength this year. People are sleeping on that position, and unfortunately, we have to find, I believe, Brandon Ayuk a replacement because the OBJ market just gave us a glimpse of what Brandon Ayuk is going to be asking for next year, and we can't afford to keep two receivers like that.
Man, I don't know. See, that's
So
what other
Brandon's going to be
teams are
winning what, $20 million?
irresponsible paying people like that. OBJ didn't need to be
Yeah,
paid
for
that
1
much.
year, coming off
Right.
major injuries.
I mean,
Are you
right.
kidding me?
What are you doing? That was about Lamar Jackson, though, show. Sometimes it's strategic signing.
Yeah.
If I bring Lamar Jackson in, I mean, if I bring OBJ in, Lamar's going to come. Oh, okay. Y'all, if y'all going to be serious, I'm going to be serious. But we still got to get paid. You know, that's how it works.
And another dude to look out for, in the third round, I believe he's a good route runner. He has great burst. He's got good hips, and he can break away from corners really well. And that's Charlie Jones out of Purdue. He's 6 foot, 187 pounds, and he's like I don't know. I would compare him to like a little mini Julian Edelman, a little bit. But I got to be careful about that because we tried that with Trent Taylor, and that experiment failed
Trent
miserably.
had all those. He was Edelman Jr.
He did.
He just his back
He
went
was.
out.
Yeah, but this cat doesn't have any major injury issues that we know of, and he's actually started a lot of college. He's got a lot of starts under his belt, so which is good, and he hasn't missed very many games. And also another guard that I'm really excited about coming out of Alabama. He plays right guard. He played right guard all 40 games that he started with Alabama, which would be 4 years.
Mm-hmm. He's a senior. All right.
Yeah, he's a senior, and he started all 40 games with them. Hasn't missed a game, and his pass blocking and run blocking is phenomenal. And he plays on the right side, which J Dog brought up earlier. We need to address and look out for him as well. And also another running back. I think we're going to be drafting.
What's his right tackle's name though? What's his name?
Oh no, right guard.
Right guard. What's his name?
His name is Emil, and I can't pronounce his last name. It's pretty hard to.
Emil. How do you spell it?
Emil.
Emil. Emil, probably. Okay.
Alabama right guard.
Right.
And I think we're drafting another running back.
We always do.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go heavy on offensive line this year, rather than defensive line. Because our believe it or not, as much as people keep being concerned about our defense year after year, we were first in every category last year. I mean, we have nothing to worry about as far as depth goes. And
we lost a lot of people on
defense.
So
I mean, we did, but we brought a lot of people in on free agency too.
True.
So, Cleveland Farrell. Who was the other one?
A guy from the Lions. But if the Lions let him go, that concerns me.
Yeah, and Chris Kasurik will coach those guys right up, and we'll be ready for game time week 1. So I have no issues with that defensive line. We brought in Jabal Hargrave.
Yeah, Kasurik probably call that guy from Detroit.
And we still have Javon Kinlaw, who's going to be a rotational player.
Yeah.
So our defensive line is it's okay. But I think we're going to be shoring up the offensive line, and there's no doubt I'm confident we're drafting a running back and hopefully complimentary tight end to put together with Kittle.
Mm.
And a couple of running backs to keep an eye out for is Sean Tucker out of Syracuse, and also Chase Brown out of Illinois. Chase Brown's been compared to Raheem Mostert. Those two players are a fit for our offense, and Xavier Valladay out of Arizona State, another running back. Those three are running backs that I just named. So
is it Valladay?
Players that yeah.
All right. Sean Tucker, Xavier Valladay. What's the other guy?
Sean Tucker from Syracuse, and Chase Brown from Illinois.
That's the guy I missed. Okay.
He's been compared to Raheem Mostert.
Oh.
He's got the speed of Raheem.
After we got used to that, oh, I love to see those breakaway. Goodbye. Quick, stop running, guys. You're not catching up with them.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Because I believe they're going to bring in competition for Elijah Mitchell, who cannot stay healthy.
Yeah.
And
that's the only problem, too. Damn it.
Yeah. So
Right.
look out for him to be moved, too. So
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell.
I know.
And J-Dog brought up, Phil brought up why it doesn't make sense to trade Trey Lance this year. They'll
Mhm.
find a way to make sense for it to make a trade happen. You got to let the kid play, man. You can't keep sitting him. You brought in Sam Darnold, who has a 90% chance of being a starter week 1. Trey's got a big hill to climb to be starting. And it's not fair to him to be sitting here just twiddling his thumbs on the bench and doing absolutely nothing.
Looking like Jordan Love over in Green Bay. Exactly.
Exactly.
You know.
You know, Ronbo, like, it's not fair to the kid to be sitting here and doing absolutely nothing. Like, he needs to go on a team where he can start week 1. You know
what? Look,
John Lynch already made it clear that there's no future for him here.
Brock
Purdy's
let's wait and see what it looks like in camp. We'll be able to read the tea leaves probably about 2 or 3 weeks into it, too. So we're going to go.
Yeah,
always a
sure.
pleasure.
Right,
Can't wait. I got all your
Donut
names
Team,
here.
My favorite couple. Yeah, shout out to Tony from Atlanta, Tony from down under in Hawaii, and all the characters out there. Y'all have a great night. Take care.
You too, Show. Always a pleasure. Talk to you later. There goes the big show with big insights. And let's bring it in Show's buddy and mine, Tony.
Ronbo.
Tony. Well, Tony.
What's happening, brother?
It's getting hot, because we got, because every year we see the draft, and you don't see any big names like you see the big promos, the glitter, the billboards, everything's shining these names. These guys are coming in on the red carpet on draft night. They got on clothes that the NFL bought them. They, not only them, but their mom and everybody else are wearing these Academy Award-winning attending outfits. Then you're getting interviewed at the front door. It's just comical. And then they don't turn out to be what all that was about. And the 49ers reach back in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, and they pull out all pros. It's just, it's comical, Tony. Hey, Tony, what do you see? At safety, you like that first? You like the offensive lineman first? Where are you going?
Well, this year of all years, Ronbo, I think the draft is going to be, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, it's going to be harder to pick than a broken nose because of the simple fact that we swept the whole division this year, last season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be tough in the sense that we've got the Cardinals, we've got the Seahawks, we've got the same old sorry-ass Rams that are going to be looking at what do the 49ers want and what do they need, and if they're in a position to pick the premium player so we don't get that particular player, they're going to do it just so they don't get swept again.
It's called strategic picking, and that goes in free agency too. A lot. We did it to everybody else. We picked up Christopher McCaffrey.
So I'm going to leave that to Big Show, Tony Nagatani, and the experts and those people that are good at picking that stuff.
They're watching hard.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely hard. But I heard the other guy talking. Even what Big Show said about Trey Lance. I watched that video of him training with
Patrick Mahomes.
And I've got to tell you, Ronbo, I watched that clip about 10 times, and I noticed one thing. If you watch it, Patrick Mahomes, when he throws the ball, it's got a really slight, tiny little wobble on it. But the thing I noticed the most, comparing Trey Lance to him, Trey Lance's ball, when he threw it in that clip, had a lot more RPM on it than Patrick Mahomes' ball. Like, Trey Lance's ball was turning 2 times to Patrick Mahomes' 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it was coming at you. That spiral was tight as, and it was just coming at you on that clip like a dart.
And did you notice?
And
did you notice how Trey's
you can
gotten
see
bigger?
that he's tight. Yeah, you see that bloody bicep flex when he's throwing that ball, and he's tightened up the motion. It's not as elongated as it used to be.
He's working. He's working hard.
He's working hard, and like I said a couple of shows ago, the biggest mistake that Kyle has made, all right, one was the carbo click, all right. Two was not naming who your quarterback's going to be so that he can enable that particular quarterback. All right, we know Brock Purdy's injured, but I'm of the opinion that they should give Trey Lance a start. And if that's the case, well, then he should have said to Trey, listen, you're going to be starting at the end of the season. I'm going to give you every single opportunity to give this thing a go and prove everyone wrong. So take your receivers. I'm going to speak to Jed York, all right? And I'm going to say to him, listen, we'll fly you out to Florida or wherever the hell is the sunshine and beach and that. I'll give you the playbook and practice some of these routes and get in sync with your receivers, mate. I mean, if you want to hit the ground running and not start slow like we always do, as a coach, Ronbo, wouldn't you do that? And I am 99.9% sure that Jed York would say, yep, all right, I'll pay for their flights, I'll pay for their accommodation, they can just pay for their food. Let them practice. I want this Lombardi.
Yeah. You
know what I mean?
You can't handcuff your players by not giving them enough money. Jed's all in. I think with whatever they ask him for, they believe. Jed believes in John and Kyle, and I think you're right.
But Kyle didn't do that. He wanted a penis extension, and he went out with all his favourite players. Right? So that can always back him up. So he's got backup no matter what happens. He fails, he doesn't fail. You know what I mean? We all know he's a good coach, Ronbo. Right? But he just has to get over that egotistical situation that he puts himself in. Nobody puts him in it. He puts the pressure on himself.
No, I know. That thing about Lord Shanahan has got to stop, though. Kyle's really got to. Kyle, don't let your players be fearful of going outside the parameters of what your offense is about. Let them, especially with a quarterback. Let them play. If they mess up, chew them up. But still, let them play before that.
He's got the team there. He's had the team there for a number of years. And you can't compare this guy to Bill Walsh, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? But there's other coaches there that if you said, if Jed York poached, what's his name over at the Patriots, Bill Belichick could be chomping at the bit to grab these dudes, walk into a thing like you said on Twitter, McVay walked into a gold mine.
Oh,
all right?
Yeah.
There's coaches there that say, oh, man, I would love to be at the 49ers. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He should have had at least 2 Lombardis by now, in my personal opinion.
It's probably true. And some of the circumstances that took place should have never happened. The ones that actually circumvented us toward winning that title, those could have been prevented. You've got to see these things before they happen. You got to work them out in practice. These guys racing around the right side, taking that big looping curve to get around an offensive lineman, you should have came up with a strategy for that by now. If nothing more, I could have actually said, listen, on this play, I want that running back to stay right here. George, you're over here. I don't want anybody coming around that corner to knock the quarterback into oblivion. Come on, guys, that's not that tough.
Yeah, so I want O-line to be addressed before anything else. Get the best available, protect your quarterback. And we know that Shanahan can get over the hump, Ronbo. But all he has to do is just relax a little bit, trust his players, trust his quarterback, and let it happen. Because you're going to be the superstar coach at the end of the day. Someone's just going to pick the player of the year and, player of the match in the Super Bowl. So the credit's still going to go to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he realizes that.
I know, right?
It's just ego's too big.
Because the whole program is your program. You're going to get the love anyway. There's no point in saying, now listen, when I say sit, sit. When I say roll, roll. Okay? And you're going to be okay. No, you got to let those guys go out there and express themselves. They're good football players. Let them do it. Within the parameters of your offense, okay. But don't be so stifling that you stunt growth, because your quarterback's not going to learn or grow or go to the next level unless you allow it. He's going to be your guy, period. But you need more than that,
And the other thing I've learnt from playing a game like that, which I put rugby league in a similar fashion, right? Because it's the same battle. It's a battle against other dudes. So if you've got players there that come off the sideline, they're on the field. They can see shit that you can't see, right? Because every time they ask you a question, oh, I didn't see that play. I was just looking at my bloody laminated sheet or whatever. If the captains are captains for a reason, if they come off the field and they say, Kyle, listen, man, they're tired as F on the right-hand side of the field. We can see that. They're tired. They're spent. They can't. They won't be able to hold us up. Call a play. We don't give a shit what the play is. Call a play on the right-hand side of the field.
And let's do it, exactly. Tony, we ran out of time. I love it. Some of these stories are great. We got to cut it, though. Tony, I'll see you Friday, all right?
Rombo, just one quick one. Did you go on Remelia's site and see what he's done with
No, not yet.
Stephen A. Smith?
I was trying to prep the show up, but not yet. I can't wait because I'm going to have a comment. That's shameless.
I think that guy should hang his head in shame. He made Stephen A. Smith talking about the Cowboys as if he was talking about the 49ers. I think, how low can you go, Emilio? You're dead.
I mean, that's grasping at straws. That's
shameful.
Tony, I'll see you Friday. I'll get back to you about that. What's going on over the Remelian Sports? All right, man.
All right, brother. Shout out to Big Show, Papa Dragon, the rest of the crew. Good to see
J-Dog.
Was it Trey that came in here so cute and cuddly, and he's come back into the fold?
Yeah, recently. That's true. All right.
Yeah, he's listening, so be careful, people.
Got to. He'll go racing in. All right, Tony. Have a great day.
You too, brother. Cheers.
Thanks, man. Cheers. All right, let's say, it's overtime with the Lakers and Wolves. Hey, Merrick.
Hey, Ronbo.
Merrick. Well, Merrick, the draft is coming up. The 49ers are pretty much just packed. I mean, we're packed tight. I mean, it's like any player that can make this team this year, he's got to be good, because when the cut day comes, hopefully the 49ers won't have a camp full of 11 guys. My prediction is the 49ers get down to about 4 or 5 picks. They're going to be doing some trading because there's no need to bring in that many players. Merrick, what do you think is going to happen, and how's it going to affect and impact this year's roster?
Well, I definitely think we're going to use some of our $1 billion compensatory pick trade up in the draft. I don't know how high we'll be able to get, but I think we're definitely going to try to trade up.
Mm-hmm. Merrick, do you see any players in the draft?
I mean, we have the second most draft picks behind the Raiders. The Raiders have more. They have 12. We have 11.
Yeah. And one more pick. And see, that's still next year we'll have 13. Good God. Well, Merrick, do you see any players you'd like to see the 49ers pick up in the draft?
I don't really like to get draft crushes because then I get really disappointed if they go to another team.
And yelling at the screen, oh, why did they pick him up? They picked up him? Oh, God. What about, yeah. Because we all have strong opinions about the people we think are going to succeed in the draft. That's one of the biggest. Every year, you're either extremely wrong or extremely right. Because I look back at Solomon Thomas. I lost my mind that night we picked Solomon Thomas, and I was right. Okay, DeForest Buckner got him. Oh, I lost my mind being happy about that, and I was right on that. I love being right. Reuben Foster, I wanted Reuben Foster. Oh, God, I said, Jesus Christ. I can't believe we've got Reuben Foster. Are you serious right now? I was wrong. So Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah, I remember
I
when
wanted
we got
Henry
Reuben. I
Ruggs.
thought that was going to be a good pick, but it didn't turn out that way.
I like Dante Pettis
Yeah,
too.
and the Henry Ruggs one, I remember I wanted him too because I wanted
you?
a speedster, but now he's in big legal trouble.
Oh,
So
isn't he? Didn't they put him in jail already?
they're going to,
I thought it was over.
which is unfortunate.
It is. All that talent, and you're an idiot. What are you doing? You don't race down the. Oh, Henry. See, and your whole life is now ruined behind one stupid move. A
Yeah,
waste.
it does suck how many athletes have like crazy talents, but then they do something stupid and ruin it all.
Aldon Smith is still the poster child for that particular. Man, he could have been a Hall of Famer. When you look at the potential, J.J. Watt's going. Him and J.J. came in at the same time.
Did you know? Yeah, and did you know Alden's going to jail for a year? I think for DUIs.
This happened last week.
Mm-hmm.
And Merrick, how would you have liked to have had that kind of talent with the mind you have right now? You see, this is what I'm saying. It's the guys that are gifted that don't know what to do with it. You're a star. Be a star. It has a lot to do with home raising and how you grew up. I understand that. I've been around those communities all my life. But I still say, at some point, have the wherewithal to understand I can do better than this. I need to out of here,
Mm-hmm.
So Alden's got my sympathy because I know he needs some professional help. I don't know if he ever really seeked it or not, but it's just a crying shame.
Yeah, well, I hope Alden and all these other players get the help they need because they need it.
Look at the guy in the Raiders. What's that edge rusher that's so good? He used to be an alcoholic and a maniac. All of a sudden, snapped out of it. What? Crosby. Max. Yeah, Max was an idiot. And then all of a sudden he stopped. And now Max Crosby, which, by the way, Merrick, being a Raider and an edge rusher, and you did well, because the Raiders seem to have a problem developing talent. What I've said, as soon as I found out about Max Crosby you know what? What if Max Crosby came and worked with Chris Kasurik? Oh! Jesus Christ! He'd be a monster. Because they're not teaching Max is doing I think Max, what he's doing is pretty much on his own. So, anyway. But any other players?
Well, I'm kind of hoping we just draft mostly secondary and offensive linemen. I think those are our big issues.
Yeah, I just hope that they don't pick up too many. There's no point in bringing in a bunch of kids that they can't make the team. So I got a feeling the 49ers, as John Lynch says, they're just going for depth. They may want one or two guys at a position here and there. I imagine they're going to offensive lineman, 2, a safety, 1, maybe 2. Tashawn may leave. So 2 safeties, because more left. 2 safeties, an offensive lineman, because we got a lot of offensive linemen, actually. A defensive end. John Lynch loves his defensive lineman. Chris Kasurik's going to be in his ear, telling him who he wants. You got Steve Wilkes, the cornerback coach. He's going to want at least a couple of guys. So, how many is that? About 6 or 7? They might. Yeah.
I could see Shanahan drafting another QB as well. He loves to do
that. Yeah,
that
of course. And a running back. Why we can't? You know what? Not in the 3rd round, coach. Let's just undrafted free agent running backs are fine with me. They always turn out to be kick-ass anyway. Jordan Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Good God. We'll see. What else, Merrick?
Yeah, well, in terms of the draft, the other thing I want to talk about was the Kyle Shanahan stuff, because I still don't get why people blame him so much when we lose. I mean, sometimes he does stupid things, but most of the time it's just unfortunate circumstances that cause us to lose.
Yeah, but he's at the top of the heap. He's the guy in charge.
Yeah.
He's always going to be the one. Head coach is always the guy that gets fired. So yeah.
Oh, I know. But
You have to
I
be
don't
able to
think
nip those
I
things in
don't
the
think
bud
we
before they
should
happen.
blame
Is the
him as
thing.
much as we do.
Yeah. Because when you think about Kowski Tart and that missed INT against the Rams, which the Rams still think they beat us fair and square. Well, they did, but I mean, they still unconditionally were the better team. What if Kowski makes that catch? Is that something that the coach could have foreseen? Sometimes I agree. Sometimes it is Shanahan's fault, but sometimes it's not. Player just screwed up.
Well, in terms of the Kowski thing, he was, the right place. He just didn't make the play. That's on him. It's on the coaching.
Yeah. So they got a break. They got away. Okay. We'll make up for it somehow. Well, Merrick, let me see you Friday, Merrick. All right.
And the loss to the Eagles was Kyle drew up the right play. It's just unfortunate circumstances again.
Execution was interrupted. And the Eagles were going down. I just know it. Anyway, Merrick, this year
I'll be watching their crash and blimp with a smile on my face.
There you go. Have a great night, Merrick. Looking forward to hearing from you Friday.
All right. Take care.
And I'm watching the scoreboard, 105 to 102, 18 seconds to go. Lakers on top by 3. Boy, that's a game, ain't it? My God. And it is time for the head Dragon Master. Here's Papa Dragon. Bob, get in here, Bob.
Hello, is this the Kyle Shanahan complaint hotline?
Let me press 3 for the Kyle Shanahan complaint hotline. yes,
Ronbo.
it is.
Ronbo.
Yes.
Ronbo, back in my day.
Bob, you sound faint. Whatever you're doing.
Back in my day, Ronbo.
There it is. All
Can you
right.
hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. Back in my day, the most fearsome player, or there was players. The most fearsome player in the 49ers was Ronnie Lott. Remember him?
Yep. Used to knock people out. I mean, unnecessarily. He was already down, but Ronnie wasn't satisfied until the man was hurt.
Exactamundo. You know what's sad? Cause you know who the most dangerous man on the 49ers is today?
Nick Bosa?
No, it's Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right.
He has put more players
that was you.
in the infirmary than everyone combined. The reason why Kyle Shanahan is losing some support right now is because he loses quarterbacks, okay, with brain farts, okay, with really, really bad play calling, and he doesn't show any remorse, any culpability, or take accountability for it. He very rarely, if ever, takes pressure off of his players. So when something goes wrong, he blames the players. He's the only coach in the league that does that. Okay? So when your team gets so far, and when you start losing your quarterbacks, and you stand in front of people and like, oh, I'm sorry that Trey Lance broke his leg. I'm sorry that Jimmy broke that. And I'm sorry that Brock Purdy had his elbow destroyed. I'm sorry that Johnson cracked his skull. When you do stuff like that, Ronbo, it's not going to make you a popular guy. Because we all see it. If you know football and you look at the film, you see that those injuries, he's culpable for it. He's the play designer, he's the head coach, and he's the play caller. Right? If he took this situation seriously, if he really did, he would step down from calling plays. He's the one that's blown 2 fourth quarters leads. One was 28 points, Ronbo. That Super Bowl, the 49ers run the ball. If you run the ball,
They take another, 3 minutes off the clock?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Just run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
No cute, just no fancy that. The hottest player, Debo, touched the ball twice. That's not. I didn't do that. Kyle Shanahan did that.
Mm-hmm.
But then he blamed Garoppolo for one throw. One throw, Ronbo.
I know.
Right? You ever go out you ever go to one of those games? Ronbo, come to center court. If you make this shot, it's $4 million.
Yeah. And you
How
missed
hard
it.
is it to make that shot, Ronbo?
I mean, your nerves are already shot. I mean, your hands are shaking. He ain't gonna make that shot unless you're Robbie
Right.
Gold and you got ice water running through your veins.
And if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, when you drop back in the pocket, the entire defense know where you're going to be is in that pocket.
Yep.
There's nobody worried about you bouncing that out to the outside.
Yeah.
There's nobody worried about you ducking, diving. No one's worried about that. They know you're going to be right back there in that pocket. So they're going to hit you right in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Kyle Shanahan was the same man that when he drafted Beathard said, I believe we drafted the best quarterback in this draft.
He's got to believe.
He said that.
I bet you Shy wishes he could take that back. Because it's on record now.
Beathard, he said that. He's the same man that sat there and said, oh, well, if you don't want to really run your quarterback up the middle on quarterback power all the time because it puts him at great risk. That's why it wouldn't work out with Manziel. What do you do to Trey? Run him up the middle to death.
Mm-hmm.
Even
remember,
Traeger from Good Morning Football.
Remember, he rebutted
Traeger
on
from
that.
Good Morning Football this week said it.
Who said that? Trey?
Traeger.
Oh,
Traeger from Good Morning
Peter.
Football.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you get your number one quarterback, you just keep running them up the middle, running them up the middle. He is an avid 49er supporter.
Yes.
But the film don't lie. In America, we don't like to hear people called geniuses when they're telling us that they're not a genius. That makes a lot of people angry. This is how the world works. We can't even get a Star Wars movie without being divided. You mean to tell me this man that gets up there and makes all these elaborate boo-boos won't take any kind of responsibility for it, okay? Starts blaming his own player.
Ego, yep.
You call that leadership? And you know what? I'm sorry Johnson busted his head on the ground. All these players got injured. If you excuse me, I have a flight to Cabo. That's who our coach is. When we lost out on Matt Stafford last night, guess where he was?
Down the street.
Cabo.
Yep.
Cabo. We lost out on Stafford. Stafford became the Super Bowl, the piece that got the Rams over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
He was looking for Stafford. So if you mean to tell me with as much winning as Jimmy G did, and the way that Jimmy G was treated by Kyle Shanahan, do you mean to tell me, are you surprised that Trey Lance is getting the cold shoulder?
Mm-hmm. And,
do you believe that one day this will happen to Brock Purdy?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, this is what happens. Yeah. And the thing about, Jimmy never, we talk, send him text messages, we don't expect answers. I think Jimmy hated Kyle Shanahan
but
to some degree.
But there's a reason why.
No, because Jimmy said, I just got to play hard enough to get out of here. And you've seen what Brock did. Brock went on his own out there, and Kyle mentioned some things that he didn't appreciate. Kyle, you don't need to mention things. If you got something to say to Brock, just tell him.
Over.
We don't need to find out about that.
No need. Go talk to him. The point I'm trying to make is I am not a Jimmy fan. I'm not a Trey fan. I'm not a Brock Purdy fan.
I know. You're just pointing Kyle's
whoever.
Kyleisms.
It could be Tom, Bruce, Ali, Joe Montana. I'm not a fan of them either. I just want to win, Ronbo.
Yes.
But we're not going to win until our head coach shows more respect for the quarterback position because he thinks he's a quarterback.
See, he's got to do that. Kyle's got to do that. Stop pissing your quarterback off and making him feel like he's a fourth grade student that better do like he's told. That's not going to work. It's already
I'm
been
just
proven it's
saying.
not going to work.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Overall, we have this very strong defensive roster. We have kind of a very soft NFL now. We're so hard that we hurt our own players. That's how hard we are. And when teams face us, they typically lose the next week after facing us because they're all sore.
You know, I
because
love
the
that.
'Ers play hard.
Beat them up.
Right? The 49ers play very, very hard.
But all of that's so true. We got to have another day, I guess, to whoop Kyle, because we got to go now.
No, I'm just trying to explain to the prior caller why Kyle gets so much hate.
Oh, yeah,
It's
America was
self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted. He's doing it to himself. Act like a leader. Stop acting like a frat boy. Nobody's there to be your friend. You coach Trent Williams. You're his boss. You tell Trent Williams stop giving plays away, or I'll sit your ass on the bench.
You know, he's afraid of Trent.
Hey, Devo, put down the chicken wings. Pick up some baked chicken. Okay?
That mac cheese, put it away. Bob, we got to go before we get cut off by production. I say love you, but we're going to run out of time.
Shout out production. Shout out Ronbo. Like and subscribe. Shout out to the three cronies in the Big Show. I'm out.
All right. Hey, Big Show. Give my best to the fam. Like Big Show.
I will.
I mean,
Pop. Family? I'm Big Showdown.
I don't know how that got. Bob, the Dragon Clan. I got to stick to that so I don't get that mixed up. Night, Bob. Yo, Levi.
All right, good night, Big Show.
What's up, Ronbo? Wow.
Levi, yeah. We went from the draft to whooping on Kyle. And, you know, it's, Levi, I know how you feel. You've talked about Kyle. It's never been all that negative. You've had some things. Until Kyle can get that team into the celebration of a Super Bowl win, he's going to get beat up. You know.
Still might get beat up.
I know, but didn't appreciate the fashion we won. Levi, I was looking at the draft, though, and I was wondering if you had any names that you'd like to see. Are you anticipating any trade up, and how high would it go? And a lot of good kind of draft stuff.
Well, Ronbo, you might not remember this, but I don't watch college football. I'm not one of the
That's true. I do remember that now.
That study all the players and try to gang and depict who would be the best. I think it's pointless unless they trying to be like a scout. I'm like, wait a minute, are they trying to train to be a scout? Maybe.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know why they invest all that time in it.
Well,
only to maybe get disappointed when they don't get drafted.
You know, if you study that kind of thing, it gets interesting. But I know your point, though, because I just don't have time.
All you gotta do is study all that things. Maybe we might get someone, and we don't get them. So then you gotta go to step 2. You have to see how they play out. So you can say, "See, man, I told you so." Or if they turn out to be a bust, you don't talk about them anymore.
True. Because it's embarrassing. You don't want anybody to tie their name to you, you know.
So let's get to the heart. Let's get to the heart of the matter. Wait a minute, Ronbo. Today is my birthday, and
hey! Let's do that right now, because before. Stand back, y'all. Stand back. If you got any pets sitting near the radio or anything like that, or your phone or whatever, don't move them back. Baby's sleeping. Go to take him to the next room. So I holla. Happy Niners birthday to the man that's named after the stadium, Levi. Happy Niners birthday to Levi. Happy. I know. I hope you're having a great day. And Levi, this your birthday. I hope that we can put something together so we put that aura out there of winning Super Bowl.
Yeah, that is the hope and desire. Like, was to finally get another
Super Bowl. But let me just go into it, because the last call was interesting. One caller was like, man, I don't think Cal deserves all the blame. And then the other one said, yeah, man, he does. His play caller gets injured. Let's really look at it. This kind of hurts me, because this seemed to happen when we got to Levi Stadium. When players start increasing injuries. And this is before Kyle Shanahan. A lot of our season, pre-Kyle Shanahan, we always suffer the worst injuries at the worst time.
Harbaugh.
Is that true, Ronbo, or is
Yeah,
it
it is.
just in my brain?
People got hurt when Harbaugh started there.
Yeah, like that last year when we started there. This last year, where a lot of people got hurt, which made it easier for the front office. Like, yeah, we can get rid of them. Bad season. Am I right, Ronbo?
You are. But the problem is somebody's going to say, and it's true, our players are getting hurt at other stadiums. I mean, we lost how many guys at the Jet Stadium? That's just a bad facility. And they wouldn't change the surface. Too late.
Yeah, well, so that is part of the game, and for some reason, injuries just chase the 49ers.
No matter
Whether
what.
it's a nice stadium or somewhere else, get a bad time injury. It's unfortunate.
And we've already changed the training team.
But it's also
medical
interesting
people.
with the Trey Lance one. And I may not be the biggest Trey Lance fan. He could change it, or maybe he won't. He probably won't. But he's like the only one that does the power run.
Wait, you see?
Jimmy doesn't do power
he's the only one that does a
runs.
power run.
The only play was only in his. How many times you see Jimmy or Brock Purdy do a power run?
I mean, not once. Not one time did I see them get signal to run off tackle. Never.
Okay. What was one of the topping points of Trey Lance? He was he can run and throw the ball, right? He's supposed to be really good at it, right?
Yeah.
I even heard some people say he was supposed to be real smart, had a great head on his shoulder. How he was picking up the playbook at an unprecedented rate. Was just there in the offseason. He already know the playbook. I think it's about the same guy that was like dogging Kyle Shanahan, talking about how great and amazing Trey Lance was at getting the playbook. And I'm like, okay, he must be dang. And then they listen to Kyle Shanahan, so they try to get input from the players on the plays. So when he gets to Kyle Shanahan batting mode, he says, okay, they like these plays, so I'm going to call these plays. And he's got a play where, he got options. And he decided to do the power run play. Now, I'll get it. Most people, we like lying coaches. We want people to lie to us all the time. We want people to say, oh, man, it's all my fault. How many times, Ronbo, you had to say something was your fault and you didn't really think it was your fault, but you had to say it just to, try to make it blow over fast?
Yeah, or to make the argument stop. I can't tell you how many times I've done that.
Okay. So we don't like Kyle Shanahan because he don't always say things. I heard people mad at Jimmy because he don't give always take full accountability for when things go wrong.
Yeah.
We somehow think that accountability is going to make – if they take that accountability, they somehow going to be, better on the thing. They still going to be the same players. The only difference is you're going to like them more if they're humble than if they're not. Am I right, Ronbo? Or am I just in it?
Jimmy was a special case.
The humble trait actually is a magnificent. The only thing we need to see is how much they willing to put in the work to get better.
Yeah.
I see Trey Lance trying to travel, and I heard something where he's trying to learn from Patrick Mahomes. I think that's pretty good. That's a good sign. Learn from the current quarterback.
He's learning with Mahomes' coach. He looks different. He does.
Well, yeah, but we got to see it in practice.
Yeah, that's true. We got to see it with a rush.
I mean, us would be amazing coaches could go out there and throw the ball and look good
Yeah, I know.
and put us in the game.
As long as nobody's on you. But first you got to have the right mechanics to begin with, and that's what we're looking for. Because he didn't have them in his first year. And last year they were still there lingering a little bit too. But he looks a lot better now, a lot different. So we'll see.
Well,
Levi, we got to go.
when
Hey,
training camp come on,
I'm sorry, Levi. I missed that.
I'm just saying that we'll see when training camp, if he's there, and we're seeing that he has a much higher completion percentage, hitting those short to intermediate throws.
Yeah, he's got to get beyond that 50% because he never crossed that except for 1 or 2 times, even in practice. So he's got to get there. Anyway, man, we're going to see.
Making better decisions.
Yeah.
They're making better decisions when you give them a thing. I mean, you call the plays that you think is going to win the game, and sometimes it's unfortunate. And Kyle Shanahan, he does deserve criticism, but we want to get rid of Kyle Shanahan thing got to go. Kyle Shanahan deserves criticism. He didn't win some of them. Last one, I find it hard to blame him a lot for that loss. So I guess it's not surprising that they still going to come out and say, oh, Kyle Shanahan, it's your fault. You got to get it done.
Well, you got to point at somebody. When there's time to designate blame, the head man in charge is usually the guy. Man, we got to go. I'm going to see you Friday, though, Levi. All right?
All right, man. See you next time, Ronbo. Have a good one.
You too, fam. And, well, Big Show says, I recently applied to be a part-time college scout for Fresno State. I love college ball. By the way, fam, I tweeted you the list of players I named. Show, is that the final round? Because Show is extremely intense when it comes to putting together his mock. I'm going to match up how against Tony's. I still got Tony's, too. Yo, Alice! Ellis.
Ron Bizzle.
Ellis, you ever sitting there getting all ready for, because like we're 4 days away, guys going to come into camp. And just, it's 20, we got a couple of weeks for the draft, but, it's looking like it's that time to get all crazy. Because, at Ellis, we don't have a first-round pick, so most of us, take it, leave it. No, you know what? You got too many picks for this year and next year. Ellis, there's going to be some rumbling in that draft. 49ers are going to bring back something out of the second round. Ellis, are you on board with that? Do you think it's going to, what do you think is going to happen? And who do you like? Because I know you've been watching college players. Anybody that you'd like to see come to the 49ers and the 49ers may be checking out?
Man, I really haven't had a chance to look this year. It's been
okay.
It's a lot of
you were sending me a lot of footage last year.
Man, you already know, and but I have heard about some guys and stuff like that. But they're probably all going to get taken a lot earlier. Between the first and early to mid second round, and they're pretty much all offensive, players, offensive line, wide receiver, running backs, stuff like that. But I could see us jumping up into like the second round. Having so many compensatory picks already for next year, and then also for this year's draft.
I tell a person in a heartbeat, I give you 4 third round picks, and next year's 2. All right, just give me that second round, especially if you're in the top, coming in the second round kind of early. Let's say you're like 40. Ooh, I'm giving you all the picks because I still got plenty more. I'm gonna get some more next year too. So.
Yeah. Well, fourth third round picks in next year's second round, but we need to be up in the first round if that's the case.
I don't know. We can't afford to pay a first rounder though. I think the 49ers are thinking about that too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna I know you were just you were just saying.
Well, I was just exaggerating.
I mean, if we're doing, yeah. But if realistically that was something we were doing, we ain't doing that for no second round. We're going up to the first round, late first, mid first round with that. That's 4 players. No, but I got you though. I get what you're saying. We're gonna move around, but I think it would be important if it's if there's a lot of depth in some very key positions. I don't see why we, trade our way too many picks. I would like us to come out with at least 8 players minimum, out of this draft. If we can help it, 7, 8 solid players like that we could, realistically utilize and benefit from, having them at low cost and also having some, great production. So,
Ellis, you said 8.
More gets a few picks.
You said 8 picks?
What do we have?
Ellis, if the 49ers never cut the picks they make that particular season, it seems. So, 8.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But we'll see, because, there's also always that those undrafted free agents and stuff like that. Those guys that are like under the radar that we seem to do really well with, either late round or, undrafted guys. So there's also that. So, I mean, I don't know. It just kind of depends. I think they're going to be very, they're going to be studious as always and be looking at those, those undrafted guys. I mean, look with, Jordan Mason and, all of the guys. I mean, we got Elijah Mitchell so late, and I kind of feel like Elijah Mitchell is gonna, as much as I love him and we love him, he's gonna have to really come in and put together a healthy season.
And stay out there,
or he's gonna find himself as an expendable, player and a great talent. Just unfortunate, like, my man keeps getting hurt way too much, and I know he plays, one of the worst positions to one of the highest rated positions that would give you that kind of a injury or injuries consecutively. But we need him to come through and really play so he can maintain his spot in his position. It's vital for him, because if not, we're going to be
overrunning Debo.
Getting into
and Kyle doesn't want Jordan to play for whatever reason, and
But we're going to be having to get a new running back or two in here. I think we all pretty much know that. But the offensive line, I'm hearing it, but I think it's pretty much obvious. We need to bolster up that offensive line. We need to have some serious depth and, some guys. We got to keep our quarterbacks healthy. And I think, it's kind of good that the scrutiny that Kyle's getting, so many quarterbacks getting hurt, that puts a lot of pressure on him to even make sure even more that we're bolstering up that offensive line and getting some really quality guys, across the O-line and to make sure that we have that depth at that position. It's going to be vital. And defensive line, I don't think we're going to I think we're still going to go defensive line. They're still going to get at least 2, minimum defensive linemen in the draft, because, we lost Jordan Willis. We lost Charles Omenihu.
Yeah.
We lost Sampson. We lost a couple of guys.
Yeah, you got to get in Omenihu. I don't know where you're going to find him, but you remember how instrumental he was and how often he was? That's why he got paid like he did to go into Kansas City. And Omenihu is important to any defensive line. He's that force that you bring in when everybody else is tired that keeps that heat on. Hope we can find somebody like that.
But he's gonna start. I think he'll probably end up starting over there with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Honestly,
$10 million.
And with all those guys that they already had over there, they're gonna be a problem. You know what I mean? And they also got George Karlaftis, that was from I don't know if it's Wake Forest or Purdue. It's crazy big, strong defensive lineman. He's great. They drafted him last year. I expect him to play a lot better than he was last year. So they're gonna have a better defense, than they did this past year. So, they're trying to get better there. But that's what we're going to need to make sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's why the Chiefs did so well this year. They finally have a defense that can at least make the damages minimum. They was out there doing shootouts, and you run out of those especially when you go up against teams like the Bengals. You guys want a shootout? All right, let's go, and that doesn't work all the time. So
Yeah. Well, it's going to be, we always love this time of year. I'm excited. I want to be surprised, but in a good way on the draft. So I just really hope that a lot of good points tonight, Tony and Papa Dragon, and shout out to them. Kyle's got a lot of responsibility as to why we haven't with such a team. We have like a super team. We're one of the first NFL super teams, like it would say in the NBA, would get all these all-star players. You get 3-4 all-star players on the team. there's no reason why you shouldn't have a championship, you know. But if you don't have,
we raised them, so that means they have a lot of experience too. Because our stars, that's homegrown for the most part. We brought in very few mercenaries, you know. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got to clean up. Seeing Christian McCaffrey and what he was doing and how he's training, if that's what he's doing in this off season,
damn.
I mean, I'll start calling him a Terminator. That boy, he's about to come out destroying shit. You know what I mean?
Even Nick's got to be impressed, and you know how hard Nick trains. So damn. I want to know what Debo's
Debo needs to be training with.
You know,
I want Debo to start training with Christian. He might be intimidated by his training regimen. You know, Debo might be a little bit on the arrogant side and say, "Oh no, man, I train by myself. I got my own way." No, you need to go get with CMC, Debo,
right, and get lean.
You're gonna trim off. You're gonna trim off some of that weight, and you're gonna be out there looking like a lightning bolt.
That's right.
With some heavy weight, attached to you, and people ain't gonna want to fool with you.
Put that macaroni and cheese down. Hey, fam, we got to go to Ellis.
Moderation, my brother.
You know, we'll have a bowl.
In moderation, my brother. But yeah, man. Yes, sir.
We're going to go. I'm going to see you Friday. All right. Good stuff.
That's a bet. Appreciate it.
You're my best to the squad. Send all my love to him.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Always, man. We love you, fam. Shout out to production, man. Shout out to the faithful.
Thanks, Ellis.
Yeah, y'all. It's for life, man. Let's get it going.
All right.
Peace.
Night, Ellis. And let's get Jalen in here to work the NFC West people that insist on coming in here. And it better be the fake Rudy that I seen come through there saying some of the things that he's saying. Hey, Jalen.
Cliff Kingsbury got the boot. Pete Carroll still chewing on that nasty goop. And Sean McVay play calling remind me of poop. It stinks, Ronbo. Ronbo, what's the word, man? What's the word?
Jalen, we're looking at the upcoming newbies and who's coming in and where we go. Where's our biggest focus going to be as far as draft picks? Because we don't have to. There's no pressure in the draft this year. For the first time since they got here, it's not any real pressure in the draft. They don't need a quarterback. They don't need a wide receiver. They don't really have any big needs. Whoever they pick up, he's going to sit back and learn anyway. As John Lynch says, we're bringing people in for depth. But you know John Lynch, if he sees somebody he thinks can take somebody's job, he's going to do it. Jalen, what do you think is going to take place here? And who do you like and what position you want to see addressed the most?
Well, Rombo, something that I don't know. I just I haven't been listening all night, but something that happened this week. You know, Jeff Okudah, he went for a 5th round pick.
Ooh, I read about that.
And Rombo, do you know who Dante Jackson is?
No, but the name.
He plays corner for the Carolina Panthers. He's been starting pretty much like since 2018, his rookie year. I think we can trade for him really, really, really cheap after what we just saw. After what we just saw Jeff Okudah go for.
Yeah. You know, they could. They've already got
one
guy
2 picks last year.
That group.
Yeah, and he know how to coach him. Wilson know how to coach him because he coached him in Carolina.
Mm-hmm. And he is as good as he is, maybe because of Wilkes.
Yep, I think we can get him, man. After seeing what Jalen Ramsey and what Jeff Okudah just went for, hands down, I'm thinking about it. Think we can get him for a 5th round pick for next year.
Good point, because Jalen Ramsey, the Rams are just trying to give him away though, because they couldn't afford him and they didn't want to have zero. We can't just cut him. We can't get nothing. All right, what do you want? Get a 5th round pick? Hey, Jalen went for a 3rd round or 4th. What round did Jalen?
I think it was a 3rd rounder.
Yeah. We get a 3rd round pick. Take it or leave it. Now we'll take it. Damn it. That's a 1st round pick all day. Well, you can get a 3rd round and let him go. All right, we'll take the 3rd.
And then Rombo, you remember they got J.C. Horn over there, and they traded for that other cornerback that the Jaguars drafted in the 1st round. They traded for him for like a 5th round pick. So he has 2 younger guys in front of him. So I really think we can get him if Kyle actually wanted to push the Panthers for that.
Jalen, remember, though, you got to pay those guys when you bring them over. Now, I think that's the biggest problem with the 49ers. Like you're saying, they probably could attain those people, but you got to pay them when they get here. That's the only problem.
Well, let's yeah, that is true.
Because we let people go for nothing too, because we can't pay them. The Rams just had a fire sale because they don't have any money. So they just had to let people go for whatever they could get.
Well, we ain't paying a quarterback right now, though. Isn't this the time to where we can like basically build up on the team?
So right. So yeah.
Aside from, I think we need to restructure Arms. I told you about Armstead. I need to restructure his contract, or we need to trade him while he's still a little young, so we can get. I just think we can at least get a fourth, or maybe that can turn into a third-round pick for Armstead. I think we can.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe a third round, second round even, actually. You know what, though? I don't understand how the 49ers, who got only $2 million, how they figured out how they're going to pay their draft picks. This is why I don't think the 49ers are going to bring back a lot of draft picks. They're going to be doing a lot of trading up. And I'd say maybe 4 or 5 picks at the most. $2 million will cover that because they're not first-round picks. But they might want to go to the second round and get something they like. And then somebody's going to get, like you say, Armstead gets a restructure. I don't think they mess with Trent Williams' contract yet. John Lynch wants to stay away from that. Wait a minute. Or did he? No, they did do Trent Williams' contract. That's right.
Yeah, they did, Trent.
There's a couple of the guys, though, they haven't worked their contract yet.
Anyway. Yeah, what about, has Juice got here? I think, didn't he get Juice like $30 million?
I know, the highest paid fullback in NFL history. I don't know. Did you hear anything about that?
I know it was a lot. It was definitely more than everybody thought he was going to get.
Yeah, I mean, as far as a restructure, Juice is getting paid pretty good. That's the only way they could keep him. Otherwise, he was saying, I want to go to the East Coast. My wife and I are from the New York area, and we're thinking we'd like to get back there. And, whoa, Juice, stop talking crazy. We'll compensate you. Don't worry about it. And they stayed. Robbie Gould's the only person that doesn't play that. If I told y'all I got to get paid or I'm out of here, I'm out of here. We haven't heard from Robbie since. Robbie, come on back, Rob. Damn. Because, Jalen, if that kicker goes up there and starts missing things wide to left and right, I know I'm going to bump my head on the floor. Because you know how you get mad, you hurt yourself by accident? That's going to be the case.
Yeah. You hit your knee, you punch the wall. Yeah, I know what you mean, Ronbo.
Oh, God.
Mad at the world.
Will do it every time.
Yeah, I mean, Ronbo, I think Demo's gonna be all right. I think he's good. As long as we don't try to, I think he should be fine.
Yeah,
I think Demo's gonna be all right. I don't know if Barrett's gonna come back or is he just gonna lay it down.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about him, but other than that, I definitely.
Was him though? I mean, wouldn't you be scared by now?
I don't know. I don't know.
Barrett's hurt that knee, both knees, so many times. I think it's going to be the double-digit area. Dang.
Yeah, like I don't know about him. I mean, aside from corner, I talked about safety last time. I mean, if Gibson goes down, is Greg Odom gonna be able to come in and do something? I think we need to try to draft a safety high up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we need to draft a safety. We need a safety.
I think they're going to go there anyway. They have to. That is such an important spot. You got to get somebody that's quick, agile, got good slits, and can take good angles, not like Tavares Moore.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need because as good as Hufanga is, he's not really, really just
he's not a center
crazy. He's not gonna run sideline to sideline that fast. We definitely do need like a guy. I like how the Panthers got that free safety. I think his name Jeremy Chin. He's like 6'3", 225. Ronbo. Good.
Jeremy's been with him for a long time too.
No, he like 26. He young.
Is there another person with that name? Oh, the Patriots had.
Yeah, you thinking of somebody? I think Chun, something like that.
Yeah, he's with the Patriots.
He played for the Patriots. But Jeremy Chin, he just got drafted like 2-3 years ago.
What's really funny, Jeremy Chin is black with an Asian name. That's two guys like that. I said, how did that happen? And I look at him closely. He doesn't look like he's a mix. Interesting.
Oh, my God. Ronbo, who do you think? Who do you honestly want to keep in the long run between Brandon and Debo.
Let's see that. We're gonna have a whole show on that later. I'm torn, Jalen. I like Ayuk because he's a pure wide receiver. I got plenty of running backs, but when Debo gets the ball outside over that line of scrimmage and the bubble screens, I love to watch him hurt people going down the field. Guy gets such a rush out of that. Jalen Ramsey will never forget. He waited too long to try to take Debo down. Way down the field, Debo damn near killed him. He played like, well, I'm going to make a shot and roll. Yeah, all right, Jalen, I've seen that. I played that position before. I know what you did. You pooped out. So, I like Debo. He scares people. But, man, Ayuk is so good. I can't say, fam. Who you take?
Ronbo. I gotta take Ronbo because here's the thing with Debo, Ronbo. I don't like how often can Debo beat a guy on third to get the ball on third down? Like 3rd and 15, is Debo finna beat a guy one-on-one?
No, that's why you don't play. You don't run that play for him. You already got.
That's what I'm saying, though, Ronbo. But we should. But that's how he's getting paid.
I know, man. But
he doesn't even work on his craft, Ronbo. I don't see Debo out working like regular wide receivers do, running foot drill. I mean, he got the ball in his hand. He working on ball carrier skills
and how to beat somebody's behind for trying to stop
Brandon.
him. You got Jawan Jennings, who's going to get the ball on 3rd and long. You got George. You got Ayuk. Debo does what Debo does. His specialty is give me the ball. As soon as that ball snapped, count 3 and let that thing cross the middle. I will be coming through like a freight train. I mean, that's what he does. You take and put him on another team, though, you're right. He could have issues unless they run that same kind of offense.
Ronbo, George Kittle, he can't get traded. The same way the Chiefs are doing Travis Kelce, Ronbo, we cannot by no means get rid of George Kittle. He needs to retire as a 49er.
That's good.
Him and Buckner should have been 49ers for their entire career. For life. I'm still mad about DeForest Buckner.
We're gonna stay mad about that too because they ain't coming back. DeForest might want to come back though. We gotta go though, fam. Always good stuff, Jalen. I'm gonna see you Friday.
Man, Kyler, man, Cardinals.
Let me give you that holler while you're doing that.
Man, Ronbo, man, we still the kings of the West. Kyler needed 2-year rest, and Gene D and them ass Rams can keep on sucking on that donkey piss because we're gonna be the
best. Jalen tells
Nick Mullins beat the Raiders on national TV, y'all. Let's not forget that.
I'll never forget it. Jalen, I'll see you Friday. I love the way he likes to beat up on those teams in the West. They'd like to hang out in the chat, and since they're here, they may as well hear the truth. Oh, here he is. Here he is, hailing from the great state of Virginia. He is starter and co-founder of TNT, Trey from VA. Trey.
I hope the kids are sleeping right now.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I hope they sleep. All right, on the East Coast, it's almost 2 a.m. On the West Coast, it's probably like 11, so I don't know what it is. But anyway, here's the point, all right?
Yes. You want to start
First of all, shout out to TNT. Thank you for the intro, Ronbo. No intro music tonight. It's serious business tonight. I'm going to get down to business, okay? It's late. We're going to do it strong. But shout out to you, production. Shout out to my TNT family. Shout out to my boy Joey Mahoney, unofficial member of TNT. Yeah. He's always listening and checking in. Yeah, Joey, what's good, brother? Trading Debo? That's for next year. That's not this year's business. That's for next year. I'll tell you this: if it comes down to Debo or Ayuk, I'll see you later, Debo. I've already seen it. I saw it last year. Debo was out for a while. Ayuk went like 5 games on a tear. You see what I mean?
True.
He's like the prototypical true number one. Gonna beat your exposed Jalen Ramsey. Got him out of the NFC West. Got him the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So.
In nasty, embarrassing fashion.
Yeah, shout out to you, Rudy. You know what it is. You don't want to see no more of that boy. But yes, the point is that that's for next year, because those kind of concerns are real. It's gonna happen. Okay, when we signed him, it was a short term. It is what it is. But we are going to sign Brendan. But I think when we go into the draft round, every year we get excited. You guys want the sexy, shiny toys now. The one thing I will say is that we don't have the picks for the sexy and shiny toys. So this has been the most realistic offseason I've heard in a long time around here. Usually we got pie in the sky. We're going to trade up at number 5. We're going to do a lot of things that just not going to happen, So, but this year.
You can't keep all them picks, so that's too many picks. 49ers, no point in destroying some kid's life, bringing the 49ers a cut.
This is what I was going to get to. Okay,
I'm sorry.
Night one might not be for us. But night 2, a couple of those picks is getting bundled. They're getting bundled. Okay, all right. We're gonna get up in the second round. I think we're gonna take a right tackle. I'm not comfortable with Colton McKivitz just being the only option. Right. I'm not comfortable with it. I didn't say he can't do it. Just not comfortable. All right. And there's probably a lot of people in the chat right now feel the same way. I'm just not comfortable with that. I want to see a little competition. Just a little competition. That's all. That's quiet as kept, right?
Yeah.
But more importantly, right tackle, we need to come away with a good player. And then the other position that is the bane of our existence, that is the reason why we got to do this, is pass rusher opposite side of Nick Bosa. It's imperative, Ron, but we can't rely on Drake Jackson. Sorry. Just can't do it. That's another guy. Love you. Can't rely on you, brother. You can't be the guy. Cleveland Farrell is a good rotational guy. It's probably going to be somebody that's going to make us, be like, wow, okay. But I think we need to be putting our eyes on 2 edges in the draft this year, guys. 2 edges in the draft this year. Now, we can go early and we can go late. We can go 2 guys in the middle. But we need to get 2 edge rushers in the draft this year. Now, there's a couple of guys I like. Ronbo, do you have anybody that you like in the draft this year before I get into the people that
because
I like?
I don't study the players hard enough. I have to go by what everybody else says about them. So I don't really have any dog in the race this year.
Okay, because the players that I like, I'm really looking at it like, you got to think about it. Now everybody knows about Will Anderson, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about, the top of the line guys, but we're at the very bottom, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're not the very bottom, but we are.
Those third-round picks are way down near number 4, fourth round.
It. Yes. You know it, Ronbo. You know it. Yeah, but you got to think about it though. We got 99, 101, 102. Like if we do stay put, everybody always thinks about trading away, but nobody ever talks about trading away for next year too. Think about that too. We got to trade away for next year too. So a third-round pick next year this year would be a second-round pick next year. So we might do that too, right? But I like Tyree Wilson. I like him from Texas Tech. Now, we're not going to have a chance to get him, though, okay? So when we're being, obviously talking about people that we may be able a chance to get, Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame. I like his first step. The guy has a great first step. Now, he's not a total pass rusher. He's not going to do much against the run right now, but that's not what we're really looking for. We're looking for first step.
Is he a speed rusher that doesn't have a lot of technique?
Yeah.
See, that's
he's a speed. Now, if you really just want just pure speed, I'm talking about just unadulterated, just hell off the edge. Yaya Diaby from Louisville.
Yeah,
from Louisville. Well, he is a speed rusher, but he's like a 6 or 7 round pick. I like Brian Young, but here's the thing about Byron Young that I don't know about. Was that just combine? Was that just shorts? Are you just feeling free on it? Because the tape I watch, I don't see that blazing speed on the tape, right? But can Chris Kasurek unlock it for him? That's what we need to do, though. That's what's going to take this team to the next level. It's going to help our young DBs get better. And then we need to draft a safety. Nobody's talking about safety this year. Don't we always have a safety go down every year, just about somewhere and or about?
But Jimmy's going to go down. He's the exception to the rule, though. Jimmy's going down no matter what. But he corrected that the last 3 years, actually. Last year, he was
shout out to Jimmy, man. Yeah. Shout out to Jimmy, man. But I told you guys, nobody believed me, Ron, but I was the first one that told you that Tayshaun Gibson has stolen Jimmy's job, and everybody was like, oh, no, he'll be back. I was like, there's a reason why he's playing nickel. He's not going. But Tayshaun Gibson is just a little bit long in the tooth. If you get a good outside move on him, if you put a little bit of a long step on him with a little bit of a cut, turn it to the right, it's a touchdown. So we can't have that. We can't have that. Now, I like the fact that he's Mr. Sticky Hands. If the ball gets popped up in the air anywhere near center field, it's a dub. It's a wrap. It's good for us. And him and Talanoa Hufanga work well off of each other, but we need to bring in – wouldn't you say, Ron, but wouldn't you say we need to bring in some fresh legs? At least
to compete against those guys, and if they can, and you got to do that. If he took the job, he took the job. You got to keep him.
Yeah,
we're trying to get better here.
It's true.
It's true. It's true. Now, I like a couple of guys. First guy I like, now these are guys like Jordan Battle. I like Jordan Battle. Jordan Battle from Alabama. He's battle tested. He's played. He's seen a lot of football. I like Sidney Brown from Illinois at safety. I like J.L. Skinner, too. This is a Jamie Robinson from Florida State. This is a pretty deep, do your homework on these names draft this year. I've been doing nothing but for the better part of a year looking at 3rd and 4th round picks. What you got, Ronbo?
Trey, I'm looking at. Do you know who Andre Carter is?
Yes, he is the pass rusher from Army, I think it is.
Yeah, that's right, edge rusher.
He's a service academy guy.
And KJ Henry.
I like his traits. I like KJ, so I'm an ACC fan. I like KJ. The only thing about KJ is he's hot and cold.
Yeah, these guys also, finally, there's that Isaiah McGuire.
Now, look, I'm going to need a caller to call in. So if anybody knows anything about Isaiah McGuire, please call in. If you've already called back in. But we need to know about him because he's one name I keep hearing pop up. I haven't had a chance.
Yeah, he's on Show's list of to-do guys. So
is he really?
Yeah.
Well, that's TNT.
All those guys I just mentioned.
Show's been watching. But I need to hear you guys champion in these positions: pass rush, right tackle, and safety. Because those are going to be the 3 positions that we need to make sure we solidify out of this draft. Now, there's more pressing needs. I think we'll all be upset if Kyle Shanahan drafts a running back in the 3rd round.
Oh, he better not do that this time because you know what that'll draw a lot of heat. That's not 3 years in a row, and they never play. That's 2 years in a row they didn't play. Now, don't do it the 3rd time.
This is a sneaky good running back draft in the 5th and 6th round. We can get into that another day.
Yeah, okay, 5th and 6th round, I'm okay with that actually.
Yeah, I'm good with that. 5th, 6th, 7th round. We do need another back. I know a lot of people say no, we don't. Like, we had to trade for McCaffrey because we ran out of backs. So
and also McCaffrey's just not just a running back though. See, McCaffrey,
like we literally ran out of backs. We started the offseason trading away people. We traded away Jeff.
If we get 5,
we traded away
with 6 backs.
Trey Sermon.
Yes. If we start with 6 backs, we'll have down to 2 at the end of the season.
Backs, so don't be surprised. As a matter of fact, what's the over/under? We should play a drinking game on it and it'll be just one shot. If you don't drink, then we can sip something else or do something else. But we should play a game on draft day. What round are we drafting a running back? I know we got to go.
But Trey, Jerick McKinnon is out there looking for a job. Now, I was surprised at that. Jerick McKinnon. The Jets back out there.
I didn't like the vibe that he was giving off when he left here.
No, Jerick was very rude when he left. But I was laughing.
I didn't like the vibes. I didn't like the vibes. So if you don't like being here, then don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. We'll be fine without you. I don't understand why we would need to revisit that. Running back is one thing we don't circle back for. I wish we would because Matt Breeder's been out here a few times. We've never given him a sniff. It's a couple former running backs that once you leave the system, it's over. Here's the one mistake we made. So, once you leave the nest, you can't come back. Papa Shanahan doesn't play that.
Well, wait. TC Coleman came back. He didn't get to play though.
No. Be real. TC played what?
3 minutes.
Handful of snaps.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
They abused
him. We
could
probably count on 2 hands how many snaps. Actual snaps. Now, you want to say he was up for 2 or 3 games? That's your business. But actual snaps, if he played more than 10 snaps this season, I'd be shocked.
And he was like showing off his home apparel or his street clothes.
And TC is safe, Ronbo. He's safe. We can call TC on September the 8th.
And he'll be there.
Let him know, hey, TC, we got to issue. Somebody just went down.
And since you mentioned that,
he's ready.
And since you mentioned, guys, will Dante Johnson show up this year for a record? I don't know how many years to back up the 49ers cornerback.
You know what? I think this is the first year. This is all right. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We need a moment of silence for this one. This is crazy.
He's coming back.
This is the first year where Dante Johnson will not don the number 27 for the 49ers. It's crazy. I know. But hold on. As much as we laugh about him, I will say this. As many people have gotten hurt, as many people haven't shown up, he is one player that played a lot of different positions for us. He didn't play any of them great.
Yeah.
He didn't play any of them great, but he played them good enough.
I remember one.
Good enough.
Yeah, that's true.
He did him good enough. And you will see, and one thing I'll say about him, he got better as the team got better. When you had Dante Johnson out there starting on that 2016 team that couldn't get but 2 interceptions, remember that. We had 2 interceptions all season. That's Ronbo, you remember we talked about that?
Yes.
It's impossible to have 16 games and 2 interceptions. It's literally, it had never been done in 100 years of football.
Trey, we got to go.
So, we gotta
Dante,
go, Ronbo.
we're just
I'll
playing,
talk to you
Dante.
later,
In case
man.
you're watching, we're just playing. We love you, man. Come on now.
Hey, we love you, brother. Come on the show, man. I'll talk to you later. Shout out to the chat here, too. We out of here.
All right, Trey. Always a pleasure. Hopefully, we'll have to make you wait till 2. I'll Friday to be back, all right? Thanks, Trey. Hey, Big Bill.
All right, what time is it where you at, Ronbo?
Bill, where you are, you're in Texas. What do you got, a 3-hour difference? It's 11, it's 2 o'clock out on the East Coast.
All right, it's the 12th where I'm at.
You got to be at midnight.
Today.
Yeah.
My birthday's on the 12th every year.
Well, Bill, it's good that you stayed up for us. And what's on your mind tonight regarding the draft and anything else? Kyle Shanahan is, Bill, I said this last year. I said, okay, right now, everything and anything that goes wrong is Jimmy Garoppolo's fault. That's where everybody goes to blame, no matter what happened. Defense, offense, coaching, it's Jimmy's fault. Now that Jimmy's gone and is no longer the whipping boy, Kyle Shanahan is going to collect it. Oh my God! It's going to be interesting to see where that goes. Also, as I said, draft. Bill, do you pay attention to the draft?
I normally do when we're in the first or second, but we're kind of low this year, and I don't want to get excited over one player and that player be gone
in the second round, or you're excited about him and the point out is pass him up and get something else.
Yeah, it's at the point I'm not even looking. I'm going to say it's like this year's like Christmas, Ronbo. You're going to get what you're going to get, and you're going to have to enjoy it because.
And don't be frowning up when you open it up in front of your folks.
Yeah, so it's going to be a surprise. He could be good. He could be bad. You don't know what you're going to get.
Bill, let me remind you that how many times have we not known anything about the player they picked up in the draft, and 3 or 4 weeks into the offseason, what's this dude? They've always picked up a surprise or two.
They'll get a couple hits with a few misses. I give them that. That is true. But it's one of those things. I'm not even really upset. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to see what we're going to get. It's interesting. Hopefully, it's all linemen. We need linemen and cornerbacks.
Always.
Hopefully, they can get some good linemen and some good quarterbacks in it, corner, and see how things pan out. But like I said, I stayed up. I don't know if you heard what I said. Today's my birthday, so.
Really? I thought we just recently had your birthday, and I thought I was singing for your birthday.
No, you were singing for somebody else. It was somebody else's birthday, not mine.
And they must have been claiming to be Bill. Bill, let me do that. Let me do that right now, then, Bill. Look out. Give me the street. Clear both sides, please. It's time for Big Bill's birthday, and I just want to say, Mama, get out the way, 'cause here comes Bill. It's his birthday, and you cowboys know how you smell. Don't be stinking up this day. It's time, man. Happy Niners birthday, Big Bill. Happy Niners birthday to Bill. Happy Niners. Bill, may you be driving down the street and look to your left or right or something, and a Cowboy fan got in the way and you knocked him all the way to the side of the curb. Didn't kill him, but you have him standing over there flipping you off and yelling and screaming, "Come on, kid! What the hell? You must be, you got to be a 49er fan." That's what you want,
Well, I'm going to really piss him off later today when I go out in all my Niner gear, walking like I'm the king of the ring, sitting there.
And beat them twice, two back-to-back playoff series.
Right, and then looking at me all salty, and I say, hey, by the way, it's my birthday. And my greatest birthday present of all was seeing you guys get eliminated in the playoffs.
And then ask him, how much you guys playing Dak? Do you think he's worth it? I'm just asking, guys, just for conversation. We're football fans. What are you getting mad about?
Right. And by the way, you sung happy birthday to Shania, not me.
Well, that's right, probably, because it was your household.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, it's interesting. I'm just watching back and forth, listening to Grant Cohn, and I did not know Bosa got pulled over by the police. You know about that?
Yeah, I saw the whole conversation. It was taped. They posted it up, and that was hilarious. Nick couldn't get the cop to believe, and Nick kept asking him, "You've never heard of the 49ers?" And the cop didn't.
that was probably an Eagle fan or some Cowboy fan salty. But like I said, I'm glad he kept his nose clean after. It's been a minute. He just needs to keep, get his license renewed. Hopefully he did by now. That was a while ago. Bosa, and don't my guy. I know you got better values than that, so I ain't got to worry about that. Just gotta be careful, man.
Bill, honestly, you mentioned that though. Do you remember? I'm curious about what Nick Bosa's really like. Now we see him do his interview, and I find him hysterically funny. Nick acts like when he's talking, he's like at home talking to some guys in the living room about football. He is so laid back and relaxed. This is what I'm wondering: what is Nick Bosa really like? Is he like what we see on those interviews? Because you got one Nick Bosa soft and gentle and calm and quiet. And then you got that maniac on the football field. Who is he?
I think he's calm and collective. He has to be calm and collective because he balls out. I mean, he's got all that energy. I mean, all that energy on game day is because he balls out. And I think he's really calm and collective. You can tell. He was chill. I mean, he saw it was in the cam. He was in calm with the cam because that would have showed his true colors right there when he got pulled over, how he would have interacted with the police. He was calm and collective and just smiling. So I ain't really worried about that. He's cool.
This is the second year in a row with Nick, though. Last year, and I still say that was not Nick out of the high school relieving himself right at the base of that bench. I still think that was somebody because that uniform, it was clear. That number you could see from across the street, that was staged. Those guys try to set Nick up. And people say, Nick Bosa's probably got some issues, man. How many guys, grown men, go to a high school to take a leak in the back of his... That was not Nick. I do not believe it.
No, Nick wanted to do that, and he's got to be careful. And for the 49er shout-out, 49er players out there, you got to be careful. You got to show that they're trying to set you up.
No, because you're representing. You got to, You can't be famous
and
like
there's a bunch of haters trying to set you up for clout. So you got to be really careful.
49ers never said anything about it. They never said a word to him about that either. They knew that was BS.
Right, no, because they knew it wasn't him. It wasn't him. He probably had a solid alibi. He probably got questioned, had an alibi, didn't get brought to the light because they thought it was a troll. And, I ain't really worried about that. Because I didn't even hear about that. You heard about that. So
I saw the photo, the footage. I said, wait a minute. Get out of here. And you know, a lot of people can't wait to believe things. They posted it up it went viral. I said, oh, come on, man. Guys, that's not Nick. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. But I'm excited for the draft. I just can't wait for it to happen. Can't wait to see what happens after the draft. I'm going to tell everybody this. The big things I think the Niners are going to make is after the draft. We're going to find out some big players coming in after the draft. That's what I'm looking at. The draft, okay, it's going to come and go. I'm going to see it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to say, okay, cool, move on and go from there and, move on. But
maybe because they got to sort out the monies. But I don't see anybody getting signed. There may be a couple of undrafted free agents, but anybody getting signed. Ooh, not anybody like Ngakwe or whatever. They're just too expensive.
Well, those unrestricted
maybe mid-season though, if he's still available.
Yeah, well, we're talking about all these names And just like many years ago, we didn't talk about a Kittle. We didn't talk about some of the other players that they picked. Who
the guys that made it.
Debo Samuel.
DJ Jones, Nick, Dre Greenlaw. The only thing I know about Dre Greenlaw is that he was a hero in Arkansas as he was attending school. He saved this girl from this known bad guy, and from going with those people, and protected her. And I was a fan ever since then, and then I was delighted to see when he came into the league and did a good job. So, salute to Dre. Karma came around.
So, I'm looking to see what we get after, and we're going to go day by day, see how things play out, see how things go. Kyle's got to understand he passes up on a few people this year, and we don't do good in the season. We're going to be talking about a replacement coach in a couple of years, if not a year from now. It's go big or go home, like they say in Texas. This year, it's go big or go home for Kyle. That's what it is. So if he has a chance to make the trade, and I know people don't like it, I know people disagree, and I'll get a Niner shout-out after this, and you can boo me all you want, but then if he gets on the team and we win it all, I want all apologies. If like I said, if you don't make a big trade for Aaron Rodgers and you don't win out and he gets canned, it's nothing but Kyle's fault. Niner shout-out, and I'm gone.
Yes, you can, Bill. Bill. He's still holding out for Aaron. All right, Bill, you stay with it. Stay with it. Nobody's going to bother you about that. All right.
All right. Bye.
Night, Bill. Oh, that is poor man. That is so not going to happen, though. Aaron Rodgers, he's on the Jets. Hey, Tony.
Ronbo, good evening. Good evening.
Tony,
how are you?
Good evening. Doing great. I just tell you. Because, we only got another month or so to feel great. And then, of course, we got more than that because this is only May, June. Yeah, we got a little while. We got 3 months. Yeah, I'm going to be delighted when I hear about it, and not necessarily because I want to see, I want the best quarterback to win on our squad. But if Brock Purdy we're getting good reports in June. Brock Purdy is letting that thing fly right now. And Kyle Shanahan reports that ball's got the same velocity it did as before that injury. So good news for the 49ers. Yes! Okay.
Oh, really?
Now, the competition is on. Let's see who's the best. That's all I want. Just a fair competition.
So his elbow is progressing faster than y'all thought.
No. I made that scenario up. I'm saying the only thing I want to see is in June, Kyle Shanahan says that Brock Purdy is throwing that ball with velocity that is pretty much what it was before he got hurt. See, I really I want to know between Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, who's working his ass off, and also Darnold, who needs to do a lot of things to clear his name up in the court of public opinion. I want to know which one of you three guys is it?
And you know what that is, Ronbo? Good competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Ronbo, anytime you want to know about a player, I got my information right here. Anytime we call in, I got my college guidelines right here. Whatever position, player, I got the top 100. Matter of fact, me and Big Show was just trading messages about players.
Yeah, I saw that.
Back and forth in 5. Yeah.
Tony, because you guys got a first and second round pick, though, don't you?
We got a first, a second, a third. We got 2 fourths. Calvin Ridley picked. And we had 2 fifths, but we gave up our second, 5th round pick, the Calvin Ridley pick, for Jeff Okada today, the 3rd overall player picked in the 2018 draft.
That's a good deal. And you got him for what?
Yeah, a 5th round pick.
Ooh. And in April 23, Jeff Okada is still in his prime. So
you know what it is, Ronbo? He tore his ACL 2 years ago. And he had his best season last year, though.
Yeah, see, that's what you got to go by. You got to go back. What did he look like recently?
Yeah,
so
he had his best season last year. He's whipped back into shape. It's just like Isaiah Oliver. He tore his ACL 2 years ago.
And he had a pretty good season
last year. Yeah.
And he'll look even better this year because it's, further healing. So, I think we got to just go ahead That's a good deal. You got to appreciate that. You guys are building a good defense now too. It's looking real solid. You got the defensive front line. You got the backfield getting better.
We signed Mike Hughes, the former first-round pick of the Vikings, 2018 corner. He's going to play our nickel. We still got DeAndre Alford, which is in the second year. We got him from Canada last year. He had 3 interceptions. And we didn't cut Casey Haywood, the 33-year-old, as of yet. He was having a good season last year until he got hurt. He had in the Ram game, he got hurt. He had an interception that game. He had 2 interceptions in the first 3 games, but he got hurt and was out for the season.
Wow.
Shoulder, but he should be back.
Kind of reminds me of Gibson. They're up there in age, and so these injuries are going to occur. How fast can they recover? And when they do recover, are they going to come back with the same potency? Those are always the scary things with that age group. So.
I think he'll be back, Ronbo, because he hurt it in the 3rd week of the season. And I hear he's fully healed now, but you still want to take precautions.
Yeah, a veteran like that knows how to take care of himself and get those things back in order and be able to get ready for the season to start. Because they know when you get in camp, coaches don't care about what happened to you. Can you beat this guy out or not? We're going to go with the best guy.
Hey, Ronbo, 916-49er in your chat just type. He said they sell Rams gear at the Goodwill. That was a good one.
Hey, it's really funny, too. I saw, it must have been off the African continent somewhere, a bunch of little babies sitting there with blue and gold clothes on. You know what happens when teams buy celebration clothes and they don't win? They send them to third world nations to provide for children that don't have anything to wear. So I said to myself, is that red? That looks like Rams jerseys those little kids are wearing. I think it is. But they were two. The picture was kind of compact, and the kids were all together. But you see the blue and the gold. I said, what are they? Those got to be the Rams jerseys. So Rams, salute to you for providing those children with warmth in the colder months on the African continent. Thanks to you guys and your sorry asses. Those kids will be warm next winter and this winter.
And Ronbo, you were talking with a caller about an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I agree with you guys, with both of you guys 100%. Ronbo, there's some good football players in this draft. And I'm not talking the first or second round. I'm talking about after the first or second round. You guys are going to be okay, and so are we. We got 2 4th-round picks, a 5th-rounder. I don't know if we got any 6th-rounders, but I want to trade down. I really want to trade down and pick up some extra picks, man. I don't know if we're going to do that.
Because you guys got your quarterback. You don't need that. You got edge rushers. You got your cornerback. You're addressing that now.
Either another – if we stay at 8, get a defensive end – or an offensive like that Peter Skoronsky out of Northwestern, because he's a left tackle, but he played right tackle his freshman year because Rashad Slater, the All-Pro from the Chargers, who made All-Pro his first year, he was a left tackle for his first 2 years. And then his second year, Skoronsky's second year at Northwestern, he played left guard, and that's a sore spot for us. We need a left guard. I would take Skoronsky at 8. Plug him in the left guard with Jake Matthews retires. Yeah, when Jake Matthews retires, just move him to left tackle.
Yeah, because Skoronsky's rated as by Zerline, thinks he's the best in the draft.
Plug and play. He's ready now.
See, that's
ready now.
Oh, I like that. I guys that come in and work for a while, that's good. Oftentimes that is okay. They'll be fine. But that guy that comes in his first year, he's going to grow even more. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I heard today, too, that another one of the top tackles, Paris Johnson, is the top tackle in the draft from Ohio State. He said he's willing to play guard. I'm like, oh, my goodness, he's left tackle, too, and we need a left guard.
Which is really interesting because you get paid more money playing tackle. I'm surprised he even volunteered. Yeah. He just wants to see, that's the kind of ball player you want. He just wants to make sure he finds a spot in the NFL. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And it'd be perfect for us because Jake Matthews has been with us since 2014.
Yeah, his time's coming.
He's going to his 10th year, yeah. So we might as well get Skoronsky or Paris Johnson, plug him in at left guard. That's our sore spot. If Matthews plays 2 more years, they play left guard 2 years. Then when Matthews retires, we slide them out to their natural position, which is right next door at left tackle. I hope we do that.
Sounds like a plan. I'd like to see the 49ers get on the Skoronski sweepstakes, but he's going to go early. You guys could pick him up. You got a second-round pick, right? Skoronski's said to be gone in the second round. Forget it in the third.
Oh, he'll be gone in the first, but
first,
second round, I want to get one of these defensive tackles in the second round. And I saw on your headline, you know how you have the pictures of the players?
Yeah.
You had that tight end I was talking to you about.
Yeah, you know what?
One of those pictures.
I watched that dude. I said, you know what? This guy's a machine, ain't he? Big, strong.
Yeah.
Plays with George would love working with him. I could tell.
Luke Schoonmaker. Yep, out of Michigan.
Schoon with an N maker. Yeah.
Yeah, they got him as a third or fourth round grade. He's the fifth best tight end in the draft.
See, just goes to show you this draft has got some tight ends. So.
Yes, sir. Here from Oregon. Washington from Georgia, he'll be gone. You got, that's how you make your team. That's how the 49ers have done over the years. Those third, fourth, and fifth rounds, sixth rounds, that's when you get good football players like a Dre Greenlaw, George Kittle.
And Tony, you know why, don't you? Because the Jerry Joneses, there's some guys, they pay too much attention to the hype without thoroughly going through the ranks of the players that are out there. The NFL is going to promo certain players for reasons that they're going to attract the kind of attention that they want their audience to shoot after, right? So I said, NFL's got that red carpet treatment that like it's Oscar night. That works, but some good ball players are not at that activity. So, if you're like Jerry Jones, that year he picked Zeke up, he didn't need Zeke. I mean, Zeke did a good job, but he needed some other positions. He always does. He needs to hire a GM.
There's a lot of good running backs in this draft. That's like Ty.J. Spears out of Tulane, but a lot of people want him. I like this kid, Keaton Mitchell, out of East Carolina. I like him a lot. He did good at the NFL at the Senior Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not at the Combine too, and the Senior Bowl with Ronbo. There's a couple of wideouts in here. They're talking about the kid from Ohio State, which I know he's going to go first. Jalen Wyatt out of Tennessee, second or third round grade. I saw him against Alabama, and that was all I needed to see. Him and Marvin Mims out of Oklahoma. They got him as a third. These guys are good football players.
Tell you. Running backs are going to come back into vogue, I predict, within the next couple of years, because you know how the NFL adjusts. Right now, the passing game is laboring a lot more than it was 2-3 years ago. Remember when Patrick Mahomes was going deep on every shot? And then the defenses got hit to him, and he had to sharpen his game up. And now, Kyle Shanahan, who people don't give a lot of credit to, but for this, Kyle Shanahan had a vision. And that's why you start seeing the in-between the numbers, the short passing game, the yak attack. Now, I think most teams are trying to emulate that kind of offense because you can go bombing downfield if you want to, but you got experts back there on defense now, they'll pick you like a cherry tree. So, you got to be real careful with that. So now the running back comes back into vogue. Your Christian McCaffreys, your Debos, guys like that are going to really there's going to be more guys like that. Like what you're talking about now, if you can catch the ball out of the backfield and relieve that quarterback of that pressure, you're going to be gold.
And that Dante Johnson, the cornerback from the Carolina Panthers, who they re-signed after his rookie contract, that one of your callers was talking about getting, I wanted us to get him too. But Carolina re-signed him. He's out of LSU. He's really good.
As soon as you say LSU, I'm sold. I mean, Clemson, LSU, Bama, oh my God, Georgia, I'll take it. And I don't even watch college football, but these are the names that make headlines on a daily basis. Hell, these guys are even on CNN News. So, man, that's clout.
And on the offensive line, he's the second best center in the draft, but this guy can play guard too. Joe Tipman out of Wisconsin. You know I love Wisconsin, Boston College, Notre Dame, Alabama offensive lineman.
Boston College is another one, offensive lineman. Notre Dame, offensive lineman. I don't know what kind of program they go there, but they know where the kids are, how to bring them in, how to make them effective. I mean, how many cats?
Yes, sir.
Quentin Nelson is just unbelievable. And Notre Dame.
And my sleeper in the draft, I don't think we're going to get him. Cornerback, Eli Ricks, Alabama. He didn't start the season off, but Saban started him mid-season. They got him as a second or third round grade. Nobody's talking about him. 6'2", 205. He's a tall corner, but he's a ball hawk. Eli Ricks. Remember that name?
Yeah. What's the kid's name that went to Green Bay that you wanted, the wide receiver that used to work with Trey? See,
Christian Watson.
Yeah,
see what he did.
That's going to be.
After he caught on.
That's going to be those kind of.
That's
the kind of guy you want now.
About to get together. Yeah, I'm sure him and Jordan Love and the other receiver Dobbs, who they drafted in the 4th round at Nevada. I'm sure they got together this offseason and ran some routes and played some catch.
Oh, that's going to be exciting.
We know Rogers there.
Well, Tony, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna see you Friday if you got time, and let's talk some more ball.
And Ronbo, before I leave, you remember I told you about that Jake Osmond guy from the New York Jets did a live stream? Well, I went on his live stream 2 days ago, and he read my message. I'm not subscribed to him. He talked about the receiving core. I said, well, you breaking up your receiving core, yada, yada, yada. You guys are going to regret that. You know, he gave me a timeout. You don't even know. I said, I fucking know.
Well, I don't know why some of these guys are so sensitive. Why would that?
He timed me out.
I get guys in here that are just outrageous. I'm not going to time them out. But what I like about my chat, this army of mine, I mean, and you're part of it as well. They come in, they just swarm on you. But I need Bosa life. Don't spam. Rudy doesn't read it anyway.
Like you know. Yeah. I'm not a 49er fan. I respect the team, but this is a fun chat, and the guys are really cool. Your fan base is really cool, and you know you got that bacteria, ram bacteria that makes me cringe every time I see them. But we know how to handle them.
Rudy. I mean, Rudy is like, somebody said, Rudy said that wasn't him. I don't know what to think. But in the meantime, anyway, Tony, I'll see you Friday.
I'll see you Friday. I laughed my ass off. They got timed me out because I was telling the truth. They breaking up their receivers.
The Minnesota, I was walking YouTube and I didn't change the channel. There's a Viking report that came on too. There's a Viking crew that comes in. How do they put it? We're the show that we hold ourselves responsible for some of the wrong predictions we made. We welcome your comments. I couldn't stop laughing. I watched it for a couple of minutes. And you guys are bold. We just want to see a Viking Super Bowl in our lifetime. That's what I stayed with the four.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
I said, now this
I'll
is
see you
funny.
Friday, yes, sir.
Oh, all right. Tony, I'll see you Friday.
I'll see you Friday, sir.
All right. Night, Tony. You know, can you imagine? And Rudy's gonna be saying that too. I've seen 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, and we're over a decade now, and I remember the days when I was picking on the 49ers, who have since gained 2 more Super Bowls to now lead the NFL with 7. But that's fine. Because it's blue and gold all day for me, and I'm gonna light up a cigar now. You know, this is the same cigar I lit up back in 2019 or 2000. I forgot which is 221. And as you can see, it's got molded and everything in, but you know, I can still burn it, but I won't light it here because I understand the fumes will be toxic at this point. But yeah, I'm still faithful. No, I can't use that term. That's what the 49ers use. I'm still a believer. Yeah. You know? See, Rudy, you know what? Because this is why it's going to bite you people in the ass that love to make fun of the fact that 49ers have vintage trophies. See, it's just like the Hawks. We were talking about those comedians the other day. It's been 10 years, as Jalen pointed out. What's that Jalen pointed out? It's been 10 years since the Hawks were all over the 49ers. Yeah, hey, 49ers, man, when you guys going to get a trophy, man? It's the 2013-14. When's the last time you guys had one? Which apparently wasn't that long, right? So now, 10 years later, you see, this is why talking trash about a Lombardi and never getting one again can always come back to haunt you. So good luck. No, I'm not going to wish you guys good luck. I want to stomp a mud hole in your ass this coming up season. I want to see you look like just absolute drivel at the end of my shoes. I want you guys to be saying things like, oh, God, we got the 49ers coming into town this week. Watch the stadium sell out with nothing but red and gold. Oh, they hike the prices on the tickets so they can't get in. We're going to get in. We're going to get in. And we're going to come and we're going to heckle you. And as you're going into with a 2-12 record into the final 2 or 3 weeks of the season, we're going to be laughing our ass off. Why? Because you guys are impolite, rude, and you have no class. That's how I feel about it. By the way, fam, I want to thank you for the contribution tonight. And fam, please don't hit that like and subscribe. The Rams are always in there for you to beat up on. Come on back and enjoy the fun. See you Friday. Night-night.